case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Hey, what up, peeps? What up, peeps? Late start. Sorry about it. Lots of things going on. Lots of racial tension around the YouTube streets. It's getting out of control. Lots of racial tension. Hey, man, I know what's going on. I get messages and stuff. So maybe in a couple days, I'll speak about the current ongoing thing. And I'd love to get, all the information before I make such a harsh statement is what I'll say about that. But who's up in here? Only because, race is a tough subject to speak about. What's up, Dolly Bear? Dolly, the real Dolly's in here. What's happening? Hey, man, look, I really am concerned about what's up, Denise? Hey, Dee Dee's in here. Sorry, guys, I should have updated. I don't know if Wifey, I'm not sure if Wifey hit the comments and said I was running late or not. I usually would not. I was about to call this live, but I'm like, man, I already set it up. I don't want people to be waiting around. If I put it up, I'm gonna do it. Just maybe not on to the dot. Haven't been around for a while. Glad to catch you live. What up, Natasha? How are you doing? You doing all right? Mystical's in here. Checking the best people, of course. What's up, Checks? All crime with Andy. Where have you been? Getting prettied up. You're taken, Matt. Noel, you need to set this time when he posts. Yeah, I know. You ain't lying, man. I'm pretty bad with the setting these times up and stuff. I'm always a couple minutes late, but this was a bad one. Sorry about it. I do apologize to everybody waiting. I don't like when creators do that. So I say it all the time when I'm live, man, but I'm gonna start like setting the lives like an extra like half an hour. Maybe I'll be good that way. But look, Doug was in court. We got some stuff to show you. The guy's behavior, man, it's out of control. I think that, people have been talking about his mental decline and does he have a mental, I don't know if I want to say breakdown, but some type of mental health issue. And it's evident that something's there. There's some sort of schizophrenia, 100% in my opinion. So I want to talk about his last freak out. There's a creator that put a restraining order on him, and Doug decided he wouldn't show up in person, but he'll do it through the phone, through Zoom. And what a nightmare. I want to talk about that creator, kind of what she went through, a little bit about her. But in this, I'm going to be playing AB's stream. Damn, I meant to email AB. Shit. Whatever. Somebody tell AB, man. Oh, I don't think he'll do it, but I meant to give him the respect and email him and say, hey, I'm going to use your stream tonight. I don't think he'll care. I don't think he'll care because, look, but between me and AB, man, we've really been bringing the awareness on old Doug. But there were some things said in Doug's Kick Live. He had all of 4 streamers, 4 live viewers when he was live and had this breakdown, a normal Doug breakdown. But he was doubling down and re-victimizing people here on YouTube, like the girl who put the restraining order on him, like somebody that we all know, Miss Kate. And he was talking about a lot of things. He was talking about the old fight. He said that he offered me $5,000. So he was, these lies, we're going to get through them and stuff. But, it's stuff that you guys have heard, but the concerning thing is the re-victimizing of these women, the gaslighting, and the lack of accountability with this guy. It is insane. Here he is on Kick. He's got like 4 viewers, and this guy had the nerve to say he's starting an anti-cyber bullying campaign, and he believes you know old Doug's behavior. Everyone's getting sued. He's putting FBI in everybody. Now he says the Canadian police are gonna. He believes A Balance should be in prison in Canada. Well, I wonder why. I wonder why. And I have a theory about this whole thing, and I think I'm nailing it on the head. If you've been watching this channel, you've known I've showed so much stuff with Doug, but it goes beyond Doug. I'm going to talk about Miss Kate, a little bit about Danielle, Illuminati. I'm going to talk about even people that just a lot of mutual people here. Jim Terry, because Doug here he is on Kick, and he's freaking out with his conspiracy theories, thinking that everyone's against him again. It's got to be a form of schizophrenia. It really does. And this guy has been, just to remind people, he's been banned off YouTube for circumvention. This is a Google problem. So he has no Google account. I mean, he's got 1 billion troll accounts. He's probably in the chat right now. And he's very mad. But he's, in this form of freak out paranoia gaslighting, he's saying things and trying to include me in it. So I do have some never before seen text messages from Doug that I'll produce tonight. I did email Rikishi, who is the guy that puts his ass cheeks in your face when he mounds you, and he'll do a body slam, get you on the corner of the ropes, and his go-to move is back up, and he's about 300 pounds. He backs up and it's called the stinky face. He puts his butt cheeks in your face and then rubs it. Now that was Doug's so-called teacher into the wrestling career. I call shenanigans. I'll do you one better. I call shenanigans. I believe this is another lie from Doug. I believe Doug was watched this guy, and he, to go with this lie, he's claiming he's a comedy guru. It's very weird to watch his live streams on Kick. He's laughing at his own jokes and whatnot. There's 4 people in there. It's alarming. The behavior is alarming, but he's still, he's obviously watching the videos on YouTube. If you're in this chat, we know he watches the videos, but he's watching the videos because he's all the way over there on Kick. Did you see the title? The Kick influencer. You like that one? He's all the way on Kick, paying attention to every detail that's going on, and then reporting it on Kick. The problem is this guy is now on Kick, which is a platform of Call of Duty dudes and these guys that play. If you're on Kick, you're playing video games or watching the hot tub streams. It's just what it is. He's trying to tell these people about these true crime YouTubers. They don't know what he's talking about. They are clueless. It's like you're talking in a different language. Scroll. You ever watch YouTube Shorts? It's about as much attention as this 4-hour conspiracy stream gets. It is very alarming, though. I'm almost worrisome for him, but I'd have to say it's a taste of karma. So we're gonna go through this tonight. Oh, the email. Let me read that real fast. I have learned. This is very disturbing. An ex-moderator of mine. I don't know who was in this chat, and I'll get to the comments in a second. An ex-moderator of mine. A couple months back, I said that he passed. Right? Anybody remember that? Hit 1. We did a moment of silence for him. This guy come to find out, faked his death. Okay, he was just a mod of mine. Oh my God, let me take his wrench right now. See, give me 1 second. Let me take his wrench. Hold on. I'm gonna put a video on for you guys. I have to take this guy's wrench right now. Right now. Right now. This is some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. So an ex-mod of mine. I have another mod. His name is Free from Fetters Grove. Good dude. Know him personally. We're not watching a 2-hour live, but I have to. I forgot to do this. I have to do it right now. This is a special type of crazy. You guys know Free from Fetters. He jumps in the chat every now and then. I am going to play a quick. Oh, I'm on Kick. I'm streaming on Kick right now. Sure am. With Doug in the tag. We're over there too. Whiteboard Radio. Hold on a second. Let me play this for you. This is last night's stream on Free from Fetters. Don't mean to get off topic, but this is very weird. It'll tie in with Doug. Just hang with me for a second. Okay, this is it right here. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta go take this guy's wrench because this is psycho. We'll talk about it just for a second. I don't want to get off topic. A lot to talk about. I'm already late. So I will play you Free from Fetters Grove, who is a creator from the prison genre. I've always been tight with him. We've hung out before. And this guy that had a wrench, he's had a wrench on this channel for a long time since I was doing the prison videos. He faked his own death. Okay. Now I learned this from Joey, which I'm about to show you guys. Joey thought the whole time that his family was texting his phone, and they did some sleuthing and found out the dude lied to him. I just don't understand it. Like, either way you look at it, what is the point? And this guy I'm about to show you, he went in and above for this man when he passed, putting stuff in the ocean, many pictures posted. I mean, I would be honored if I passed and someone did this for me. So it really kind of crushed my boy Joey. But I'll let you guys catch up real fast. I got to take this guy's wrench. I'm sorry. It has to be done. So just catch up with this real fast, and we'll get back into Doug.
Very, very, very possible. Radio silence. We were all shared these beautiful photos. Let me go ahead and share this with you now. Again, please bear with me. This is very hard. So here we have an article. And before I continue, I want to say this real quick and take this off the screen. If you see this, I want you to know that you may feel right now like I'm fucking your life up. Like I'm fucking you over. But I'm going to let you know something right now, man. I spent fucking a month almost straight crying for you, brother. My wife cried for you. People in this chat fucking cried for you. And I need answers. They need answers. I need to know what the fuck is going on here. Because you don't do something like this to people.
All right, man. Joey's a good dude, man. I trust this guy. I've shared his channel a bunch of times. He's a mod. He always jumps in the chat. Maybe you guys recognize him, not as Joey, but this is Free from Fetters Grove. So there's no confusion. Joey is in the clear here. I don't know how long everyone's been subscribed, but there was a guy, a moderator of mine. He would jump in randomly. If I give you a wrench, you have to do something horrific for me to take it. But his name was DC Irish. That was my mod's name, DC Irish. He would always be in for the prison videos and stuff, but he kind of seldomly came by with true crime stuff, which is cool. But I know where he lives. I know the county he lives. He was on the other side of the state from me, which Joey does as well. They used to hang out a lot. They're cool. But I knew both these fellas from the prison genre, and they were really tight. These aren't fake tears. Like they were tight. It blows my mind. This guy like legit faked his life, and he was acting like when he. So let me give you a quick story for Doug. He was saying he was in the hospital and that he was dying. Joey was like, "Well, let me come to the hospital," and he would always get an excuse and whatnot. Okay. Then he died. I felt bad. I said something on my live and all. So Joey's thinking that the family, and this is something people might recognize with, like when you lose somebody. I thought about doing this for my brother. When you lose somebody, you go through this really bad grief period, and you don't hear their voice anymore and stuff like that. So you go through desperate measures, and I thought about keeping my brother's cell phone number valid. And the thinking behind that was because I could call and listen to his voice on the voicemail. But I had to let it go. But people do that. There's nothing wrong with that if you choose to do that by any means. But for me, I had to let it go. But what I'm saying is a normal thing. It's normal. It's common. People do that. Some people don't do that. Some people don't think about that. To each his own. But Joey's thinking that he's trying to go see the guy as he's dying, and he's getting these text messages from the family, and they're explaining what family member it is and why they're texting and this and that. But he did mention in this live, I'll put it in the chat, very, very weird. He mentioned that he never physically talked to the family, only text messages. So, and this really did hurt this. It hurt this creator. It's just weird. You never know who your mods are. I mean, I love my mods by all means, but this one, take it from where I stand. I'm like, man, this guy has a wrench. So as soon as I figured this out, I'm like, man, there's no telling what kind of weird shit he can do. He faked his death. And I'm missing a lot out because this guy is all over the internet. He's done interviews with big channels and stuff like that. It's just very strange. At the end of the day, you have to ask why. Why would you do it? And the even weirder part for me is, why would you act like you're? It's very strange. It's very weird. He only had a wrench over here. It's not that big of a deal for me, but I do feel bad for my friend, and I'm going to include this in the chat if you'd like to view it after this live. This guy here is a good dude, Joey. He's legit crying because this is somebody, and these things happen. This is somebody that he met on the internet and became tight with in real life. So it's weird, man. It's extremely strange, people. I don't know what to think about it, but this did happen. I would like to know who's in the chat when initially I said, hey, one of my moderators died. Here I am, trying to do something right, and like that's complete bad scumbaggery, bad behavior. And that's what I want to talk to everybody tonight about. We want to talk about Doug's behavior. So I will put this in the chat. Worth a peek. Worth a peek. Very weird. Very, very weird. So Douglas, man, what can I say about old Douglas? What can I say? I got a lot to say about old Douglas. A lot to say about old Douglas. So many things, man. Got a couple of notes here. This guy is I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. I'm not gonna play the video and stop it and do like we usually do. So what I am gonna do is play a little chunk of AB's live. AB had a live, he covered Doug, and Doug went a while back. We covered Doug when he like attacked everybody in true crime. Tonight, or a couple of nights ago, he did the same thing. What is frustrating to me is tonight we're going to be talking about two of his survivors. Now I have a lot of proof in this manic freak out that he's done. He's trying to gaslight me, and he's trying to paint a picture with me and somebody else, pit me against this person. You know, the thing is, I'm not like Doug. Okay. If I need to be accountable for something, I will easily do it. If you've been subscribed to this channel, I will say I'm sorry. I'll give you an explain. I am not the YouTube channel. I'm not the YouTuber to double down and say, nope, this is why I was right. I don't apologize all the time, but if I'm genuinely did something wrong, I'll bring it to you guys. It is what it is. I try to be as transparent as possible. And when someone is trying to make you as a liar and you're very truthful to your subscribers, it's easy to sift through. So I have a lot of things from his survivor that can't join us tonight, but she wanted me to present to everybody. But it leaves me with Danielle, which I will be talking about. But as you guys are watching this thing unfold tonight, I want you to think about something. I want you to take in all the information, and I actually have a theory of why this woman had to put a restraining order on Doug, and then he countered a restraining order. Like, he was in court a few days ago. We're going to play it. He's probably in the chat, Doug. I'm also going to show you Doug, because as he's trying to gaslight me, and he's got this he says an anti-bullying campaign over there. There's 4 people watching him. 4. One's Crime and Justice. That's comical to me. You Google deleted you, dude. And I do recognize that a lot of people that did support Doug are now like bouncing back and forth between A Balance and me and getting like to see the real Doug. Which is good. Which is good. I mean, you can't make it up when it's literally him. But this guy says he's got an anti-bullying campaign. This is the guy that literally goes live every single night and attacks Summerwell's parents for months and years, bullies them, calls them on the phone, has called the FBI. Okay? Not only that, thankfully for A Balance, A Balance has gone back and has volts on this dude of him in the First Amendment community, where he's literally being a Karen and recording people. The behavior I want you to think about tonight is Doug's power is gone. The true crime community, even if they supported him, they're now over here on YouTube and they're realizing, wow, this guy is a dirtball. Like, what a weirdo. And they're learning about his survivors and victims and everything in between. Videos and communities he hasn't even been in. But the community they have came to a halt. And it's clear what the decision is with Doug. Doug, no thanks, we want you back on YouTube. It's clear. You're on kick. Okay? It's very clear. But your power has been taken. You tried to do this like manipulative, and you're in court. You were in a courtroom via Zoom or whatever. The woman showed up. We're gonna play it, and your whole thing is, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to get your name. I'm going to post your nudes. Your whole power, your whole existence is you trying to ruin somebody over past mistakes. Things they've done in the past. For God's sake. For God's sake. I mean, you have a woman here, and the woman that you went to court against, the woman who initially put a restraining order against you, and then you spitefully doubled down, put it back on her, and lied about it. You lied in court. I've been posting your screenshots. I've been showing people your text messages. You have like these runoff paragraphs. Imagine saying that you're in true crime and submitting a legal form with one running paragraph with misspelled words. This really happened. And then you're trying to do these games to a judge. But the thing is, Doug, we know you're watching this. The thing is, your power's gone. You're trying to say that you want a balance in jail in Canada just because he reviews you, which is perfectly illegal. He's allowed to speak. Freedom of speech in Canada too. But when people review your behavior and call your stuff out with receipts and text messages and personal experiences, some women have even went as far as they have had sex with a guy. Everybody is plotting. It's all conspiracy, even though it's separate, like people with separate, connections and separate everything. You always have this. It's a big conspiracy. It's a big. Everyone is against Doug. But one thing I would like you guys to remember tonight, especially when we're talking about Danielle Illuminati, who has been on Jim Terry. She's came out and she said, "Hey man, I used to talk to this guy, Doug this guy. We hooked up before. She's not like the she is not a she's not an ugly woman at all. She's attractive. I want you to remember a couple of things, as we were reviewing Doug's behavior. The simple fact that, for one, you could, why did you go from Danielle to crime and justice? But more than that, I want you guys to think that this dude, what he's always done is his power is YouTube. His power was always YouTube. I'm going to read you Kate. I'm going to tell you about me and Kate's relationship, why I apologize to Kate. Okay, I'm going to get into it because Doug plays it. He's trying to gaslight, but I'll give you the truth. And I'm going to tell you about Danielle and why Danielle's loyal, and he missed the first sign of a good trait in a woman, but with the crime and justice. But as I'm telling you this, as you're seeing things, as we're chatting, it's strange because crime and justice is a woman here on YouTube. There's a lot of women on YouTube with personal stories of Doug. You guys know who Christine is. We've had fun lives with Christine, but she was a survivor, victim of Doug. She's not a liar. Personal friend that me and Noel have met through the internet. Doesn't have a lying bone in her. But as a woman, as crime and justice, this lady, we're not talking about like 20-year-olds here. This is a grown man and a grown woman. Because I'm trying to put like my own spot in their relationship. And like if I was dating a woman and we're both influencers, the question would have to come like, why are all these women saying this? Why are all like, I don't care about the guys. But why are all the women, they're saying the same thing? And as an influencer, you're going to be nosy. You don't think Crime and Justice had a peek at A Balance's live or watched one of mine? Come on. We're all adults here. Like, she would hear like something like Doug gets close with people and gets all paranoid, freaks out, and then he does this weird thing. Like there's a pattern here. But you'd have to be crazy to want to like date that with the women's stories. I mean, there's like legal process going on right now. Like I could see like a 20-year-old like woman or something saying, they're haters, or I don't believe them, and because she hasn't got hurt yet or whatever. But we're adults here. These are two single people who have dated before. Like it's a little bit strange. Now, to each his own. Everyone has free to make their own choices here. But I just want to bring that to your attention. Who's in the chat before we get started? What's up, Pinky? Dumb no thanks. That's right. Dumb no thanks. This guy, he but he's got an anti-bullying campaign, he says over on Kick. And what he says is he wants to rally the troops. Doug doesn't have a Google account. It's done. But so the fact that he said this in tonight's live, we're family. We're an anti-bullying campaign, and I think that we need to show the truth. I got to get my channel back. We're gonna get the channels back, and we need to rally the troops. To not have a Google account, and even if you rally the troops with current cases, with years long of every single night bashing families, and that's just the Summer Wells case. There's all types of other families. I've had some of the families in the stream, Cash Gurnan, bash them, did bad to them. Look, here's the thing. It's not even about Summer Wells. A Balance reviews Doug, so do I. Me and A Balance don't see eye to eye with the Summer Wells case. Perfectly fine. You don't see me doing videos about him because he doesn't do the things and the behaviors that Doug does. He might make a joke. He might have his theories. Great. He talks about all types of stuff over there. This guy, Doug, is every single night. That's the problem. I don't care if people disagree about Summer Wells, but put your point out. If you have a theory, say it. Have some education behind it, some points. It's out of control. And check it. I'm glad that you're in here. I heard you stick up for me when they get to the point where in the video where Doug's saying that I sold Molly Adderalls and Xan. I would never say that on the internet. Another gaslight, ridiculous claim. What I did say is I gave Molly a Xanax. Gave her. Never would sell. Gave her one. Never said that I sold her anything. Never. It's crazy, but that's Doug 101. What's funny with Doug, very similar to Benny Keys. Like if I've said something on the internet, like and you find it, it's like he always says the same things when it comes to White Boy. But what's comical is he says he's offered me $5,000 to a fight. Now I understand the subscribers who supported no thanks. I do recognize that you're catching my lives and ABs, and you should check them all out, honestly. But you may not know. We had to call shenanigans on his toe jam. Well, he hasn't given a full report on the toe jam, but I have texts about the toe jam. I want to show people the real Doug tonight, because he's claiming this big conspiracy, but really he's inquiring about, because he keeps calling me and I don't answer it. People need to get this right. I won't say this and set the record straight. I'm not best friends with Doug. I don't know Doug. Doug is a creator on YouTube that I used to text and be all right with. I've been on his panel a few times, and that was only when I had the fallout with Kankles and BHB and JLR. I was brand new to true crime. To be honest with you, I probably would have went on anybody's panel that had the same amount of subscribers as his main channel at that time, because I wanted to push the message. I'm a YouTuber. His channel was bigger than mine. I was getting railroaded by the Molly gaslighting, and I utilized getting my message out. Okay, people started to see the light. People were like, thanking me for exposing them. But I'm watching her still, and she's, just like when we went to the meet and greet. Oh, Noelle has swords and guns in her hair. I'm not used to this type of like crazy gaslighting or this community, so I'll utilize who I can. But I never hung out with this dude. I can show you tonight. He's called and texted me 100 to 1 what I would do him. I've played in the past. He would even try to set up these like weird things. I'm like, not doing that, dude. And this whole thing tonight, I could really spin it into one thing, because it revolves around a few people, and I know where Doug's mental decline came, and it's revolves around jealousy and paranoia, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna get to the bottom of it all tonight, and hopefully we can lay Doug to rest tonight. The problem is this desperate attempt with his anti-bullying campaign. That leaves me in a bad spot, Doug, because you're on Kick now. Kick. We're streaming on Kick. Okay, we have to get the message out. See, I can go to Kick and YouTube. Oh, you can't do that. That's right. But if you're trying to rally the troops up, that's fine. That's fine. Good luck with that. But the problem is you're leaving me with, just like I said before, Crime and Justice. She has to see all these women's stories and hear these lives and take the information in. The mop handle called Pedro, everything. Like, I know she's not green to that, but if you want to round the troops up, you never mess your house and home up, Doug. You don't do that, but you don't really think anyhow. I mean, after all, there's Danielle and there's Crime and Justice. Exhibit A, Exhibit B. But let's get into it. Oh, Rikishi, the wrestler. Real fast. You test me back. I'll put it on screen. I'll put it on the screen for you. So I am awaiting a response, but I want you to understand how I worded it. We'll see what happens. I got a lot of stuff from Kate, so we're going to get into this live. Here's what I did. If you didn't catch the last live that I did, well, I'll catch you up really fast. So, and then I promise I'll get to the comments. So quickly, if you notice this first screen share I'm about to do, just so you guys know, Kick. It's at White Boy Radio. All right, I'm not messing around. We got to get the message out, even to the 4 people over there. However, really fast. On Kick, if you go to Doug, he says, a lot of lies right here, but at the very bottom, he says, I'm a humble person. My mission is to be a voice for the voiceless. I've done the same stand-up comedy. He's a guru. And I'm also an ex-pro wrestler trained by Rikishi. last live I played who Rikishi is. If you don't know, give him a Google. He's got a YouTube platform. And he was the guy, the Simonian man. He's a Simonian man. He has big, big, wide hips. He would slam you against the ropes, and he would rub his butt in your face. It's kind of comical for my critical thinkers that understand that the LA Times article, which was written not by me, by the way. Doug also complains about that in his manic stream. But the LA Times wrote an article where Doug, back to wrestling, he had a mop handle that they named Pedro, and it was shoved up anuses. Now, there wasn't any file. Matter of fact, I'll drop it in the link. Wouldn't want anyone to think that I'm putting out false information. This would be an article in the LA Times out of Ventura, California. And amazingly, there was a guy in this article, and his last name was Hutton. He's a police officer. He had an opinion on the situation at the school. So just in case, I want everybody to be very clear, transparent here. I don't want anybody to think that I would be doing a smear or a gaslight or pulling an old Doug. So I'll drop it in the chat. This is the LA Times. I would be doing a smear or a gaslight or pulling an old Doug. So I'll drop it in the chat. This is the LA Times. But here's the email to Rikishi, which would be the wrestler that Doug's claims that trained him. I call shenanigans, and we know with wrestling, it's he's got a bad track record. Hello, my name is Matt, and I'm a YouTube journalist who covers creators who do scams and grifts. I'm also a huge old school wrestling fan. I've enclosed a screenshot of a former YouTuber whose name is Doug Hunton. His YouTube channel used to be called No Thanks Investigates, but he was recently terminated from YouTube and now streams on the platform Kick. I've been covering his behavior for some time. This guy is a real serial liar, narcissist to the fullest. He treats women like garbage, never accepts or has anything to do with accountability. It is comical, but very disgusting and sad at the same time. Many of his victims came on my show to raise awareness for the supporters he used to have on YouTube. Very long story, sir, but I'll get to the point. On the new platform Kick, his profile bio says you taught him how to wrestle. I was reaching out to see if you could confirm this, as I'm extremely doubtful of the claim. Below, I've put the profile bio and a recent picture of him. I would appreciate your help in this matter. If you did, by the way, teach him, then I will not discuss it or bring it up on my YouTube channel, as it was probably years ago, before the behavior started. But if he's exploiting your name in the many web of lies I've already exposed, I like to inform the people the truth. And below, I used the old thumbnail piece and the screenshot that I put before this. So we're awaiting Rikishi, blue check mark, via Twitter. All right, what do I do first? I'm gonna do not AB yet, because that'll take longer. We're gonna go to Danielle. Okay, Danielle Illuminati. Let me share it, but I gotta get to the chat. She may be in here, possibly. Don't know. I gotta check because I'm way behind on the comments. Let me play it though. Let's play it.
For him, like.
So we'll play that in a second. Jim Terry's on this stream. I was listening to it today. I didn't text Jim. I didn't get the real reason why he was terminated. It's been a long time since I talked to him. But I want you guys to remember Jim Terry on, later on in the stream, because I have a really good theory of why Doug is paranoid, of what happened to Danielle, and everything in between. And I'll explain it all. It'll make sense. I thought about this long, so tell me how you feel about it. Well, who's in the house? Oh, Danielle is in here. What's up, Danny? What's up? I have good, positive things to say about you. Please don't take it in a weird way. But do I have any fellas in the house? What's up, Miss Kate? I'm getting to you in a second. Just stick with me. I started late. Well, it's common sense. Crime and justice. Chuck's in here. What's up, Chuck? Maybe this cheese completely slide off. What did he circumvent his channel? Pretty much. Basically, what that means is, look, Doug's a grifter. We've all known this. There's plenty of videos you can educate yourself about it. There's ladies in here. There's actually, I'm not even going to name the amount of ladies in here. There's 2 ladies in here right now in this chat that have personal. This channel that is on the screen is Danielle Illuminati. She's going to court with Doug. Okay, it says a lot. He tries to move too fast. Doug is always smarter than everybody. But Danielle, I do want to tell you this. I don't know how long you can hang out, so I'm going to say this before I play your live, because I want you to hear this. Okay. I'm not trying to review your live or correct anything, but I want to give you some advice. I heard what happened. I'm going to play it here in a second. And I strongly want to tell you that I believe what the judge was talking about is just have things in paper form, which is very simple. Like, you could print out emails. You could print out text threads. All that. You can print anything nowadays. And with that said, I don't know when your next court thing is, but let me help you. I have Doug, text messages of Doug, I believe, talking about you and Kate. Definitely Kate. I think I've already sent Kate the text messages. But I could help you. And I'm different than any random person on the internet. And I don't mean that in any type of conceited way to anybody. What I mean, Danielle, is Doug personally to where, you dated him for a little bit or hooked up with him, whatever it was. And you've texted him, called him, been to his house a few times, went out to eat, I'm sure, whatever it is. When I say I'm different than a random person on the internet, I could also prove and show, if you need it, I would do that for you. I could show that he's talking, because I heard what he said in court. I could show that he's talking shit about you months before, break his narrative. Okay, not only you, but Kate. I don't know if that would really help. If bringing Kate into it would help your situation, but I could show a track record of his crazy thinking, and he's texted things. I never knew anything about you until you were on Jim's channel. I understood what he was talking about Kate a little bit, but he is a real hater, and he watches everybody. After I watched your live stream, I went back to my text messages because I wanted to find the ones when he found out that I was going into court.
Danielle was asking if you could drop the link because you're not giving complete, accurate information, and she would like to make sure everyone knows the truth.
All right, yeah.
There you go. I gotta be
right now.
I'll be there in a minute.
My bad. Started late. I'm trying to get through it fast, but yeah, I don't want no information to be incorrect. So we'll try that right now. This is only for Danielle. Miss Kate, if you want to come up, you already know. Let's see what I got wrong. Don't forget to settle up the whiteboard. You guys can drop. What's up, Miss Joanne? Is it dropped? What's up, Drama Llama? Yeah, it was about DCI. Yeah, you saw it $2. It's crazy, right? faked his own death. I can't believe it. It's really freaky. She has no upcoming court date. Oh, I didn't know that. So that's it. That's it. Okay, here she is. We'll get her up here. We'll figure it out. Let me do this.
Hold on, I can't hear anything. Give me 1 second.
All right. I'm gonna. It might be because I'm sharing this. Let me stop this real fast. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Better now? Take your time. You're cool.
Why the fuck?
But wait, I can hear you.
Hold on, no, I have to fix. Hold on, I gotta turn on my Bluetooth speaker because I can't hear anything. So, and it's not coming up in my audio settings. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Take your time. You're cool. I gotta catch up on the chat anyhow. All right, cool. Danielle joined us, so let's figure out what I said wrong because I don't want to mess this up. What's up, Miss Gina? What's happening? You're gonna learn about Doug. These are a couple survivors. Gina, kind of similar. What happened with kind of similar what Dolly did to you, but this is kind of like 500 times worse.
Okay, I can hear now. So
check it out, Gina. Good stuff. All right. So what I get wrong, and my bad that I got it wrong.
okay, so we don't have any court cases coming up. I was showing the court case where I took him to court was back in May of 2022, and then he tried to file against me in September of 2022. But for that one, I never got served, and then he didn't show up to court, so that got dropped automatically. And then mine was dismissed without prejudice. So this is already a done deal. It's just that I heard him speaking on it recently, and he was trying to act like he won against me and all this shit, and that's not how it was. So I was just representing it so that people could see what actually happened.
All right, so I'm mistaken. I thought that there was one more upcoming because of the judge. So that makes complete sense. In full Doug fashion, he decided that he was just going to go over to Kick and just completely
change the narrative.
Exactly. Can I give you my theory on this? Can I give my theory? Because I may have had a court date wrong, but this is what I honestly think. Okay, I think that Doug dug you, and I don't know what happened and why you guys separated. Whatever, none of my business. But I think he dug you, and I thought, and this is why I'm saying this. Okay, I think he dug you, and when he had the narrative, okay, with you. He could say anything. Remember, he had that power. He could show your nudes. He could threaten to dox you. He had the power with his subscribers on YouTube, right? And he was throwing his weight around. But when you took your fight, when you took the fight back to Jim Terry, this is why I'm saying this. Doug is hella jealous of Jim Terry. Oh my God, it is bad. It is very bad. I have let me show you how bad it is. Let me show you how bad it is. I'll post these guys. I'm not gonna burn her time up. I'll read them, and you guys already know I'll post them. Kate, I gotta post a lot of your stuff too. Let me show you how bad this is, Danielle, because I've never actually said this. Okay, let me just find Doug. Oh shit, hold on. This is why I'm saying this. So my theory is, when you went to Jim, he got livid and mad. And when you had enough balls to say, hey, look, I hooked up with this guy and his pecker was small, his ego is dented and he is so mad. And at the time you said that, I also have a screenshot I can show you that he told me he's making a lot of money on YouTube. This is the Dylan Round stuff. This is after the Jim fallout. How do I know he's jealous of Jim? Is because I made a video of Jim about I don't know, he whipped his wiener out or he did something and I reviewed it. And then in Jim Terry fashion, this guy finds my whole family. He calls me on my personal phone, tells me that I got a Trump flag outside my house. Like he super doxed me. He like weirded me out, but we became friends. He was like, "Why are you talking shit?" Like no one's ever done that. And but we kicked it up. I like Jim. A lot of people dislike Jim. I thought he was funny. So I did the video on Jim, and then I had Jim on panel. We went back and I was on Jim's. He was over here, back and forth. Doug got uber mad. Like a big bromance happened where he's like texting me like weird shit. I'm about to read you. Like he got all mad. So I know from his words and from talking to him and dealing with him that something happened weird when I started talking to Jim. Like, bro, we're not married here. It's not a bromance. Like, I could have a friend here. I don't care what you guys have going on. I never took a side. Jim talks shit.
He doesn't like that. He wants you to be only loyal to him, and that's it. That's why I think that's where his problem with me came in, because he has another enemy named A.V. Watchman, who's a good friend of mine in real life. And he didn't like the fact that I wouldn't give him information about A.V. Watchman. I wouldn't turn on A.V. Watchman. Like, I told him whatever happened between you guys is your business. And I'm separate from that. And I wasn't there for that. So I can't judge that situation. And he didn't like that.
I took the same stance as you did when they were going through it. Okay. And Jim.
Yeah, that's
Jim
not allowed.
He hates it. And Jim would even troll me sometimes. I'd be live talking about something completely different. He would hit the link and be like, "Doug's got a small cock," and then he'd be like, "Peace out." You know, I don't know what he's gonna do. I like him. I let him on, but Doug was like taking that like as personal jabs to him. If I say Jim wants to come on panel, I'm gonna let him on. I don't know what he's gonna say. You know, it's funny. I laugh because in real time it's funny. Then we learn he's got a cock this big, but he's super jealous. And I think what happened here is you're telling your truth on Jim Terry. And that was truth that has never been said about Doug. He's making money from Dylan Rounds. Okay, a lot. I'll read you this because you're owed this. I'll send all this to Kate so you can see it for yourself. You have his number. You're going to know that this is not edited or nothing. Okay, so you'll know this is all real. I'll give it to Kate. She'll get it to you. He got so mad at what you said, and also who you're saying it to, that he got like insta rage and actually paid money to get a restraining order against you. I read the restraining order. No, he didn't.
I showed that on my live stream too, that he got a fee waiver. He never paid anything. He lies about everything. Yeah.
So how? Wait a minute, because so in Florida you have to pay.
No, in California, if you're like if you're low income, you can get a fee waiver, and they'll serve it for you and everything. I just never answered the door, so I didn't get served.
Gotcha. And then you indirectly were like, screw this dude, I'm gonna do one back.
No, I did one first, and I got the temporary granted, but not the permanent. So then he tried to do it back to me. Yeah, but I had paid the money to print out the paperwork just because I was curious what it said when he filed, even though the case was already dismissed. So that's what I had showed on my live stream a couple weeks ago.
Okay, I got the paperwork
that he filed. Yeah.
So this could also be, well, that makes sense too, because now you're on top of you going on Jim's, you kind of like served him a little bit with a restraining order. So he's livid mad. So he was forced.
Yeah, that happened before I ever met Jim. The restraining order that I had filed was way before I ever met Jim. Yeah.
Right, but then you went on Jim's. So now this guy has a huge ego problem. He's got Jim embarrasses him, hurts his ego, makes him feel this big. He thinks he's a comedy guru. In my opinion, Jim is way funnier than Doug. That's my opinion. But he's got a restraining order from you. He's trying to, use this power. I call it power. It's not really power, but with dealing with Doug, I've seen what he's done to people, and even me. This is the last text from Doug to me, right here. I'm gonna post all of these guys. Look at, he's in the gray, I'm in the purple. So he says, this is the spiteful Doug, but I'm gonna show you the Doug before Jim Terry, and then I'll. So he said, it goes on and on. It's a bunch of shit talking, but I said, can the people have an update on the stub toe injury? When are you going to be healthy enough for your request for a legal fight inside the octagon? He says, hey, bitch boy, how's it feel like to lose in real life every day, idiot? Can you make a full sentence, or do you need your wife for it, you dumb? How's that, by the way? You lost big time, just like the way that Matt knows how to do. I say, hey, man, just give us that toe update. Ain't no need to text box when we can do it in the ring per your request. Doug, you're a failed comedian, nobody's advocate, failed parent, and just a soft coward hiding behind a fake toe injury. You only hurt and pick on women. Stop talking. Let me know when that toe heals up. This is real talk. Here's this is the last text.
Did you hear his narrative on Kick the other night where he said that he tried to legally fight you, but you pussied out?
Oh, I was absolutely going to play AB's live, 100%. Have you seen the video where I called the gym?
Yeah.
Have you caught up with all that? So in these texts, so do you know how it started?
I don't know exactly how it started, but I mean, I know pretty much what happened since,
So I'll catch you up. I became okay with the Wells. I apologized to somebody who indirectly, after that, I started talking to Don Wells, and but I formed a relationship with Don, and there's creators who have their opinions on Summer's parents. Okay, that's not, everyone has their own opinion. That's fine. I don't hate people who think that they may be guilty. I don't hate, but what's not right is this guy was clearly exploiting the parents. And to make a long story short, when I was talking to Don Wells, I did a live where I was going to invite a lot of his haters on. At the time, I was all right with Doug. So I text him and I said, hey, I'm excluding you from this. I don't know if he was drunk or high, or he didn't read it right, but he went live and said that I'm taking all the money with Don, this and that. He doesn't realize that he's begged me for Don's number. He's asked me to set Don up. I was barely letting Doug live because he was pissing me off. And my wife told me from day one, this dude's a scumbag. I just, I don't know why I always had people I was focusing on, and that's why the Kate thing happened, which I'm going to fully explain tonight. But I might as well do it with you because you're a factor with that. So let me just retract right quick, people, because I was going to talk about this anyhow. I'm going to play a video when Danielle jumps down, but with Kate, there was a part where I was trying to expose Benny Key to the fullest. I was fully focused on Benny Keys because people were afraid of him, this and that. I spoke with Kate. Kate was okay. She knows the Maya Malette case. She tried to help us with that. I met Kate, I believe, with the Molly stuff. She knows that I'll say something, I'll speak out, but she was telling me about Doug, and I just wasn't covering Doug then. However, she is persistent, to say the least, and in a good way.
Yes, she is.
But I'm not a YouTuber like Doug or even A Balance or any of these people. I go to work, I come home, I have family, I have a gym, and then I try to make YouTube time. So in my head, I'm focusing on Benny Keys, and YouTube takes time. She was telling me about these things that happened with Doug, and she's giving me a lot of information, and she's not lying. She's not lying because she's showing receipts. Like, Doug, I know you're going to watch this, especially with Danielle on here. Get over it. She bought you the microphone. Stop trying to get out of that, bro. You're trying to die on the hill. Everyone knows she bought you the microphone. Stop. Just stop. just stop, dude.
She was very, very nice and generous to him.
She's very generous, and she's very generous. She's a good person, but she was trying to tell me things about Doug, and she's very persistent. And this is what happened, and I want to be clear with my audience because I want to give another kind of formal apology tonight. Because I realized something tonight as I'm watching these lives, while I dismissed her, and as Doug was playing the live that I did on his panel, I recognized, a character defect that I have. So she was very persistent, but I was focused on Benny. I even told her that, but she had her facts. She helped me with the Maya case. There came a time, fast forward, where Doug was going through, people were on him, and Benny was attacking him, amongst other people were calling him out. I wasn't caught up with everyone calling him out, but everyone was kind of like on him. So I contacted him, and I was more mad about the Benny thing, but he was like talking my ear off about this conspiracy that I had not. I wasn't watching him like that to know everything that's going on, but I do know Miss Kate to be persistent, and I did have communication with Miss Kate. I was like, hey, look, I'm really doing this Benny thing right now. What I should never have done is gone on Doug's panel and added to what she was going through or what Doug did to her. I should have never done that. And for that, I'm forever will be wrong. And at the time, instead of me being busy and having a job and not being like a YouTuber with a lot of time, that is what I said, but I should have been more or less grateful that somebody came to get their truth out through me, and they're presenting the information and they're expecting me to help them with it, and instead I shut them down. So I'm careful of what I will do from here on out. But what he tried to do last night is pin me and Miss Kate against each other, which is not what it is. I fully respect her. We have moved on from that, but I should have not done that. That's for sure. But he tries to pin people against each other, and this is where you come in a little bit, because when I apologized to her, I feel like you didn't take it for face value, whatever your reasons were. I did hear you today say you don't trust YouTubers, and I fully feel that. I fully feel
Well,
that.
also, I feel like actions speak louder than words, so it's easy for someone to say I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean that they really are. I mean, Doug says I'm sorry all the time, and he's not. So now at this point, I feel like you've been consistent with your stance on it to the point where I could trust that the words actually meant something. That's why.
I respect that. I appreciate that. It does mean something, because I do try to help Miss Kate, and I do realize that I messed up. I should have never did that. But I see the narrative he's trying to paint, and it's very easy. Like, I have messages for Miss Kate to get her truth out, which I'm going to just double down to erase his narrative. But I did want to say this while you're here. I would like to say it to your face. Doug, I already know that you're going to watch this. I'm going to read your comments, your text messages to me, but I know that you're going to watch this. And my theory, I think that your jealousy is why that you try to do indigent papers and all this other stuff. But you have this ego where you miss something so key with Danielle here. Danielle just now coming on my panel. I apologize to Miss Kate. She's like, nah, I don't really trust that dude. That's a good trait. That's called loyalty. She didn't just say, jump up here because I have some subscribers. She was loyal to her friend. And until she saw that I meant it, is when she came. You completely
Well, yeah, and
missed
I
that.
also want to point out that I was not friends with Kate until after all of this happened. And then we got in contact. See, Doug tries to paint this picture like we all had this plan against him, and that's
Yes,
simply not a fact. We all individually have been hurt by him, and therefore we all feel the same way and have that in common. But it was never a conspiracy or a plan or anything like that to begin with.
of course. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He tries to say that he's always trying to connect everybody. This guy thinks he's a good manipulator, but he doesn't realize there's thousands of people that can see directly through him. I don't know what type of talk game or what he does, but he's actually a joke, man. He's a joke. He thinks there's a big conspiracy plan. It's actually ridiculous. Instead of saying that you bought the microphone, instead of saying that you did dox the lady, this guy's trying to say Miss Kate is like emails him with tits. Like, when does that ever happen? When does somebody just email somebody and say, "Oh, here's my tits, by the way. What's up? Name's Kate." No, that's not normal. That does not happen. But you've tried so hard when you had a cult following over here on YouTube, when you had power, you would say things and people would agree with you, even if they didn't believe you, they would agree with you and make sly jokes in the comments towards the woman so she could never get her truth. Now on Kick, with a platform with young gamers and chicks in hot tubs, no one's buying that. If anything, they're going to call you out more on Kick. But nobody emails like that. The first email I got from Miss Kate was not tits. It's ridiculous. And I have her truth. I have a lot of her truth. It is just ridiculous, man. But I do want to read
Well,
you.
and he'll show emails or whatever, and you could tell that there was responses from him in between, but he tries to act like she was just stalking him and saying this and that over and over, and that he wasn't replying. But you could tell by the things that she says in the emails that there was a response in between that, and he deleted it. That's what he tries to do, is create a narrative, but he's not good at it.
100%. I just scrolled through his text message and I found Kate right here. So when I thought that you had another court date, this is the things I was trying to say, and I really wish that I could have helped you with the last one. But I do know that he'll watch this, and Will Be Denting if he does watch this, he's definitely gonna drink, do some type of narcotics, and get really mad, and that kind of gives me enjoyment. But here's just a text message from him. And please excuse his audience. Danielle said it. He even did this in the courtroom. He made like a 1-paragraph sentence. Doug is the worst speller. He has the grammar of a small field rodent, Doug. A small field rodent.
Yeah.
Hey, John is a good douche, bro. I've got a lot of text messages. He's the one that fucking had that girl send me her effing titty pictures. That Kate doll, that placate. Something's misspelled. That placate. She keeps making channels
That's her
about me
old
too.
screen name.
Okay.
That was her screen name, Placate. Yeah.
Okay. That placate. She keeps making channels about me too. She's fucking done, bro. She tired about to go to Oakland and kick his fucking ass, but I'll just kick his ass online instead. Like, Doug, that's a broad statement. I don't know what that means. Is that a threat towards Kate? I don't know where Josh lives. Like when you text me this is not a conversation. This is a text. Let me put it on the screen because I don't want anybody simping for Doug saying that I'm making it up, or him with his, oh, they did fake text messages. Like, that's even possible. Like the fake emails you were just saying. But here's what I was just reading. But you see, like, how he talks about this lady, and he doesn't even. He's assuming that she has multiple channels. He can't even prove that. Well, he says one, I guess, but he doesn't know. He's paranoid, man. It's bad. What do you think it is, Danielle? What do you think it is with the paranoia?
I think because he does so much shit to people that he automatically thinks that everyone is the same as him.
Do you think that's why there's a massive trust issue?
Yeah. Because he knows
So
who he is. And so he projects that onto everyone else.
I can go for that. This is the screenshot that I just read. You're in here somewhere, and there's a huge thread. But I want to show people, you know, he claims on his kick stream that there's a big conspiracy, and for some reason he had me on the background and maybe I'm the leader or this and that, and he can prove that we're all friends. And this has been going down since this year. Well, I find that comical because let me show you Doug Hunton text message to White Boy before I started really calling him out. I have to find
And
it.
just a side note, I found a video last night where he was being interviewed on a First Amendment Auditor's channel back in 2019, and he was claiming the same conspiracy bullshit with that community. So this is like just his MO. This is not something that happened with me or Kate or you or Josh or anybody. This has been going on probably his whole life with everyone he's ever known, as far as I could tell.
Wow, that is very interesting. So the conspiracy, so he wants to rally the troops up. He's got the bully campaign, his family, if you will. He's got this facts, this proof that everyone's interconnected, everyone's attacking him, they're smearing him, they're afraid of the truth. All this bullshit he spews. You're telling me this is a repeat? So you're telling me this is a. I hate to word it like this, but is this a? Did he repeat the comedy act? Is this an old bit?
Yeah,
Has he done
pretty
this
much.
before on the show? Doug, disappointment, Doug, but not really. Not really. And Doug, let's
he does it in every community.
Doug, let's not say this is not you, Doug.
Doug, give me a call to get this pro or tomorrow or whatever. I'm going to bed here shortly. Wanted to find out if you could do me a favor and see if we can do us a favor. Actually see if we can get Don Wells not to come on, but to talk to us and answer some questions. It's not going to be any hard questions. It's not going to be any crazy questions. They're actually on his side right here, trying to get answers, bro. And I think there's a few things that he can help out with that'll help a lot. Just stuff that has to do with the timeline. Has nothing. No, there's not going to be any finger pointing. Nothing. So if you get back to me and see if we can call him, or if you could give me his number and I can just text him or email him.
I'm basically playing this, people, just for YouTube and Google for his family and the troops that he decides to rally, just in case he gets very mad, red in the face, and does an old First Amendment. I think the dude might shoot a school up, to be honest with you, the way he insta rages. But in the very in whatever way this video here that everyone's viewing may end up in a Google or YouTube hand, I just want to basically prove that this is the guy, this is his voice. So let's have another one. So that was a grift, and the guy watches all the drama. I'm almost to the part. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. So Doug, if I've been in this big conspiracy with all these creators and these fake fights, he said, with everybody, then you'd have to be mad at me for a long time because you peeped this. Like, you saw the conspiracy, you were on it, you have everything downloaded. AB should be in prison. That AB guy, damn it. So why did you text me this, Doug? Well, actually, I said a lot so far. So let's go back to when I had Jim Terry on panel. Let's see where the conversation kind of goes a little bit south. Let's have it. Oh, here's Kate again. Okay, it's all in order. So let me Okay, I searched for foot with Millette. I have search videos and know the family. So you know if you need anything, I have their numbers too. Great family. He says Mariches and Richard. Well, that's a complete lie. I know for a fact that Kate had a connection towards that family. I'm trying to find where this starts. This is interesting here. I didn't never notice this. Let me put this on the screen. This shows all his Google accounts. Somebody in the chat, pay attention because this is kind of interesting. So as I find where the Jim Terry drama starts to unfold, let me just show you guys this. Anybody? I've never seen that bottom one, or have I? Can you guys see those?
Yeah.
You can do it. Are those all still up?
No, all his channels have been taken down.
Okay. All right. So let me just find this real fast. I don't want to hold you up too long. Hold on. Okay, here it is right here. My video, copy, monetize it. This is where else is it? He's telling me that he makes it doesn't allow. It's been good lately. He says $15,000 to $3,000 per day. I say I try to comment, but that must feel like being on Mars living. I actually was telling him he has a whole lot of people in his chat. This is when he was covering Dylan Rounds. Then he's telling me he was making $1,500 to $3,000 per day. Then he says it doesn't last. I'm humble though for it. I keep my head down and YouTube 6 hours per day to live in California alone as well.
Yeah, but a lot of that money was supposed to go to Jim and he never sent it. That's why they had a falling out.
I know, and I've already showed everybody over here. So what's funny is, and this is back to the jealousy thing with Jim. So when he was covering the Dylan Rounds case, I would pop in like here and there, and I would always see this guy Jim Terry. And I started seeing when Jim would go on his panel, I started seeing on videos people like making videos about Jim, calling him a fake PI and this and that. So I contacted Doug. It's in here too. I've posted this many times before. I contacted Doug and I said, hey, I would like to do a video for the guy, Jim. And he was like, let me talk to him, this and that. It was a big runaround. He was like, oh, he said he can't do it or he don't have time. Or then he's like, well, why don't you come on this channel? We can do it at this time. He was being a real bitch. Like he's giving me the runaround. Then I talk to Jim. I get Jim's number. I speak to Jim. Jim's like, that never happened. He never told me that. It's just like why he wanted to keep Jim because I do know that he's got a fear of doing the show by himself. He likes a co-person, whatever. Case in point, Josh. But he's always been weird with Jim. It's always been weird. So he lied about that, and it's just weird, man. But he says he pays $1,500 for child support monthly. I have to clear $4,500. That's a lie. I'm not on child support, but I have a job and they take taxes out of it. If I had to pay child support, it would come out of my paycheck. Google pays every YouTuber on the 21st the same. Whatever you make on the 21st. But those taxes are completely different. When I went to H&R Block, they told me that I'm like a business without an LLC. So that's a lie right there. I don't know California law. I know that I do YouTube and I pay my taxes on it. I've had like a lot of conversations with my tax people. There's no deductions besides straight taxes on what Google gives you. Okay. So I believe it's my opinion. I believe is way behind on his child support. I think that's his cap. Don't know. Then okay, let me get to the gym part. At least if the fall. Okay, go on. Listen to this. He says, "At least this I can fall back asleep to. What are you doing in kangaroo court? You've been through as much court as I have. You forget how things work." You're addressing the chat. I think he's talking about a panel I was on. I honestly don't even remember who that is. He's talking about, I'm going to go to bed. I have a channel that's Jim Terry's, and I'm no thanks and covers the truth or some bullshit like that. 2,000 subs. I've never really done anything on this channel, but it's about to be monetized. So he's talking about the thing where I'm asking about Jim. The screenshot on the screen right now. Where is the Jim part where he falls out? So the cock shot that allegedly that I had on my channel came from this screenshot. Jody Sue is a liar. I also sent 800. He's always watching me is what I'm getting at. He's always hawking my channel. I had Jody Sue on one time, and here he comes. Jody Sue is a liar. I also sent her 800 plus in one night. Donations to move. By the way, Christina, your mod, is a weirdo. Watch this. She sent me weird pics. I can't share it, and she tries to smear my channel. Heads up, you got some faulty mods, and she ruins your donations with her comments. Christina's one of the coolest people I've met on the internet.
I never saw her say anything rude to anyone in his chats.
Yeah. So now he's telling me that I said wife's brother's boyfriend. Now you can say stepbrother. He's correcting me because I say a lot like this guy Benny Keys. The wife walked in and she got getting sucked off by I always mess it up. The brother-in-law, the stepbrother. Who cares? The point is the people get it. But he's screenshotting Bullhorn Betty. He says, what is this? Oh, he's screenshotting me. I told you he watches. Danielle, he's gonna watch this. Before you leave, I want you to give him a personal message. Look, he's telling me that I messed up if it was Benny's brother-in-law or whatever I said. Look, here it is. Hold on. Oh, God damn it.
China. And this is what walked in and caught me getting sucked off by the stepbrother. Okay.
So I was supposed to say the brother-in-law. So he's texting me, trying to give me a heads up that I messed it up. And there's a million texts like this. But the point is, for everybody, he's watching. We know that he watched Jody Sue. We know that he watched me messing something up. We're about to get to him watching me have Jim. Then we're going to have him watching me, or he's actually watching Benny, BHB say something about me. He's always watching. He's all the drama. But then he'll get all serious and say, oh, no, I don't do that. I stay to myself. Bullshit, dude. You know what I mean? You know, I know he's had those conversations with you. If for whatever.
Yeah, we used to watch YouTube together. Like, I know damn well that he watches shit all day.
Exactly. He'll so here comes the Jim part. He's telling me, Jim, my ex is a liar. I'm not in the drama thing. Look at that. Exactly what we're just talking about. It's all false, he says. Wow, time to destroy his PI career, he says. What's this one? Audio message. Let's have a listen.
You and your wife, make sure you guys are okay. Give me a call or text me. Let me know you guys are all right. You and your family. All right, brother. Wait.
Okay, since I'm in this wild conspiracy with these women that they're all liars. Danielle made the whole thing up. She never dated them. Kate never bought a microphone for him. She sent him just a random email with boobs. AB needs to be in prison for life. This big conspiracy. Well, why did you check on me when the hurricane came? Why? I'm the leader, or whatever you want to say. Right, Doug. I mean, we're just going through text messages. I mean, this is you. The people know your voice. Okay, hold on. Damn, I lost my spot. Where was I at? Josh is a douchebag. Where's the damn gym thing at? Okay. I need a favor. We'll get there. Okay, here's the gym part. Okay, and more watching me. So here's a lot of Doug. Just to back up what she said, Betty played you trying to get you to send her viewers by saying her name and making videos of her algorithm, her name. I'm like, no, she was drunk. Why were you in court? Everything good? I caught some cases. Should be straight. I got a lawyer. Fucking sucks. I'm here now. I was literally in court. Oh man, when no jail, right? I said, I don't have a concrete answer. Like very calculated. I never like trusted Doug like that, but I did like communicate with him. Oh, okay, hope everything goes well. Then he says, this bitch talks about you like this and your wife. Here he is consuming some more drama, people. Let's see what that means. What could that mean?
So, at the end of the day, I'm not even going to give these creators a platform because they're going to be dogging Bullhorn Betty yet again. Go back to your drugs. Go back to beating your wife. Your wife likes it. Okay? Clearly. She's still with you. We know it happens because I was on the other end of the phone when you gave her some of those blows and I kept my mouth shut.
The victim's advocate for domestic violence and the advocate kept their mouth shut when I was beating my wife while she was on the phone. These people, what's funny right now is you have one complete tragedy pimp watching another tragedy pimp reporting to me on what the tragedy pimp said. I mean, you can't even make this shit up. But what he's stirring the pot, and we recognizing that Doug is watching White Boy. Remember the post, people? We can't see him because he don't have a YouTube channel. Remember when he was like, oh my God, now this guy's going to be talking about me for 3 months and this and that and all this stuff. And Doug, you forget all this, Doug. See, if I would have known you were going to court, I would have been a character witness. Here is Jim. So he sends that video. A few days go by, whatever happens. He out of the blue. Well, you always have Jim Terry, right? I don't know, bro. I just sit in the background and I don't do anything wrong. Matter of fact, I called out bad people. He can't spell for fuck. This is not me not reading. This is Doug not spelling. Well, you always have Jim Terry, right? I don't know, bro. I just sit in the background and I don't do anything wrong. I just called bad people out. Can't hang out with bad people because bad people bring bad juju. Bullhorn Betty's, Jim Terry's, all that shit. And all the subs that you think you're getting, hey, they ain't people that going to donate for a long term or stick around long term. Those people long term. Bro, go back to what you're doing. Your channel was starting to grow successfully, or you're dumping in some comedy and some true crime. Now it's going to get real life, dude, and your wife and you, all these people are going to get in trouble. And I don't want to see that happen because I know your wife's got a temper. I'm just trying to save Bullhorn Betty's life right now. I don't know why. I just know your wife will kill her later. Okay, that's like sideways, like you guys can break it down yourself. Your own thoughts. He's mad that I'm messing with Jim. I feel like this is a dating thing. Why did I say messy? He's mad that I collab with Jim. This is like so female-ish. Get over your life, Doug. Doug, we know you're gonna watch this. You were jealous of Doug. Fucking Jim. You're suspect, Doug. You're suspect. I'm just gonna say it. You're suspect. The broom, the Rikishi wrestler, you're catching feelings because I'm collabing with Jim. Maybe I like Jim better than you, bro. Get over it, bro. I see this, bro. But he's like covering himself, taking the shots at Jim, saying that he's good. But my channel is successful. I'm doing this, blah blah blah. Now he's saying certain things about my wife. This is the truthful dog, sort of, regarding my wife. We know he watches. We know he knows my wife is about that life. But the flip of the switch, when he wants to turn the narrative, when now my channel's no good, I'm conspiring with these ladies, and even though I called the gym and been calling this guy out for months, he offered me $5,000. What had happened was he called my phone with the bet, and my wife answered and said, "Leave my husband alone." Doug, no one on the internet, we know you're going to watch this. No one on the internet ever thought that you could whoop me. And you are, and just to double down, Doug, I should bust out wifey's phone that you just started randomly texting. Exactly. Doug, you done fucked up. They are. Okay, where was I with this? The hate gets real with Jim. Okay, there it was. Then I guess this is what 1/18/2023, over a year ago, he got a strike, asked me to share his now deleted channel, No Thanks, True Crime and Comedy. I said, "You got a strike?" So the real reason, people, I know a lot of my mods and everybody else who has been subscribed to him, if you remember when his main channel got a strike, this is 1/18/2023. I said, "You got a strike? He's gray, I'm blue. I'm purple, he's gray." I'll put it on the screen. He says, "For playing a video of news clipping, I didn't even play it. It was just on my channel. I was going to play it in a compilation where a 5-year-old got his dad's gun and his dad was arrested for it. Recently, I was going to cover this story, but they flagged it for child danger, so I'm down for a week." So he asked me to share it. I said, "All right, I'll do it. I'm working." Then he says, "I guess that was too much to ask." Oh, I did do it. I said, "I already posted it, slick ass. I see. I don't understand the salt. I texted my wife and she did it on my backup channel." You can fact check this, anybody in the chat. Go to White Boy Pushing Back. You have to go way back on the posts and see that I did it. I'm working. This dude asked me for a favor. He's not like somebody like that I know in real life or somebody that I met on the internet that I talk to and engage with a lot. He's just like a random person. He asked me for a favor. I got a lot of shit going on at work, but I still do it. But I was on the wrong YouTube when I did it. This guy is like, you can see his behaviors when I'm getting that. But let me get to the fallout. You must be on the other thread. You're way up there. But you're here. Where was I? Oh, I was apologized last night. It's Josh. Okay, right here. Then he says, thank you after I straighten them. I appreciate it. So this is, that day was, like I said, the 2023 on January the 19th. We're now over a month later. We're now in February 3rd. Text me his number. I'll ask him to find out where Summer is and give him the facts. Someone told me to see if I knew. Listen to this. Someone told me to see if I knew someone to get a hold of you. And I said, if it's important, I'll hit him up. So apparently you talked to Don Wells recently, ? Like he couldn't see that I did. Or if I didn't put it on my YouTube channel. Or the person that asked him to get a hold of me, like this is all game. This is where the fallout started to happen. I'll read it to you. So apparently you talked to Don Wells recently. Well, if he's getting in trouble, bring him on my show. I'll get you a bunch of subs. I got like 400 yesterday. Got big things working. Jump on, but need to have a mediated conversation with Don because I'll tell him the spelling. I'll tell him or EFWE, whatever the fuck that is. I'll tell him or Effie quit. Let me know even if in your panel I don't care. I tell him no. Whatever, I just want to ask him the tough questions because I know he didn't do this. I pretty much have scenario. 500 subs in a day. Holy crap. It's going up. 3 missed calls from Doug. This is the 23rd of February. At 11:27 on the same day we get this.
Hey Matt, it's Doug. Give me a call when you get this, bro, or tomorrow, or whatever. We're going to bed here shortly. Wanted to find out if you could do me a favor and see if we could do us a favor. Actually see if we can get Don Wells not to come on, but to talk to us and answer some questions. It's not going to be any hard questions. It's not going to be any crazy questions. They're actually on his side right here, trying to get answers, bro. And I think there's 2 things that he could help out with that'll help a lot. Just stuff that has to do with the timeline. There's nothing. No, there's not going to be any finger pointing. Nothing. So if you get back to me and see if we can call him, or if you can give me his number and I can just text him or email him. We just need email because his other one doesn't work. All of his old shit's gone. So let me know if it's possible so I can try to make something happen and try to find Summer, bro. I think we're really close, and I think if we can get him to talk and not get him too many crazy questions, he may just answer the rest of the stuff that we need through conversation. I know how to deal with him, bro. I think we can make it happen. It'd be huge. So let me know. Just want to talk to him behind the scenes, ask you a few questions, kind of thing. Nothing has to do with directly has to do with him because obviously I'm promoting his innocence and everything right now. So let me know, bro. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Couple things right here that I can't show, but let me catch everybody up to this point. I would hop in Doug's chat back in Dylan rounds. Not really after that. And I veered down. You could see he asked me to, share his channel when he got a strike, this and that. He's always sending me things, but what I'm really trying to emphasize is Doug contacts White Boy more than White Boy contacts Doug. And usually he wants something, but nobody, in my opinion, nobody asked him to contact me about something about Don Wells. Because I was not jumping in his channel, keep in mind I work and stuff. I have a lot of YouTube friends. I don't know what each creator is talking about all the time. Okay, I just don't. I don't keep up with everybody's channel. I just don't. As they don't do mine. I didn't realize he was on this, like, Don and Candace are put underneath the prison for forever. So when the opportunity came, which was out of the blue, I apologize for saying some things to Tim Mullins, and through that, go ahead. Through that, I got a hold of Don. Go ahead. He is well, he's sending a lie. That lie was to say, hey, that was the icebreaker, if you will. He's calling, and then I had a conversation with him that I obviously can't show, but what he's saying is, in the conversation, he asked for Don's number and email. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving it to you, this and that. I've already talked to Don about Doug at this point. So now he's trying to work me for the Don Wells thing, because now he sees that I'm okay with Don, this and that. And then here comes the fallout. That was the voicemail. Stop.
Well, I think, in my personal opinion, that he wanted to intercept that because, God forbid, if Don did have information, that he might give it to you. Doug wants to be the one to get that information and to be the one to come out with it and have that key, you know? So, and he's going to try to interrupt anybody else who might have that opportunity. That's not him.
Have I ever played you have you ever heard the voice? So Don was telling me some of the shit some of these creators have done a lot with Doug. Doug gets obsessed. So I will say this publicly right now. You creators who thought that you have had Don Wells' number, good luck calling him. That's been changed, and you won't get the number. I can tell you that. So he changed his number. I just want to throw that out there. But Doug, you've never heard the voice messages he's played on Don Wells' voice machine?
No.
They're really weird. You know how he does that weird singing?
Yeah.
So Don literally blocked this guy, right? He literally blocked this guy, and I don't even know how to say this. It's really strange, but they're only like 30 seconds. He blocked him, and he would get voicemail. So Doug would sing. It is so strange. He's singing to Don. Like, the guy was ignoring him, blocked him, didn't want anything to do with him. But he, like, really would harass this guy. Between Josh and this guy, unreal. But here's Doug. This is him getting Don Wells' voicemail. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Kind
Here's
of.
another one. So he's just.
I couldn't hear it very good, but
he sings the Speckling song. It's really weird. Here, I think I have another one. I have another one here. I don't know. There's so many texts in between. He's just like singing this weird, like, cheeseball cringe comedy like songs that he does. He's so weird. But anyway, this is a voicemail though, is what I'm getting at, because he's getting the FU button and he's blocked. There was another one. I played it. I don't know where the other one's at. But anyway, this guy, man, he thinks he's slick. This shit, I can continue to read it, but
do you know how embarrassing it is for me to admit that I've dated this guy? Like, it's so embarrassing because he's such a creeper, and I'm just like, why would I lie about that? Like, that's embarrassing for me, you know?
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you really are you're emphasizing something that I see in the community a lot, and listen, you were watching the dude, he made you laugh, and you probably didn't really even know too much about how did you end up in this chat? Can I ask that?
From the Orrin and Orson West case. I was also boots on the ground with that case. And I went to a lot of events that they did and stuff before I had any content on my YouTube channel. I was kind of involved behind the scenes trying to be supportive for the biological family of the boys who were killed by their adoptive parents. And, you know, and he always thought that the biological family had something to do with it. And we would argue about that because I was like, there's no way, like, I've met these people. There's no way that they did something to these boys or that they're lying. And it turns out I was right and he was wrong, but he'll still to this day, even after the adoptive parents have been convicted of second degree murder, he will still say that he thinks that the biological family set them up to it. Like, it's so weird and so wrong. But anyways, so I used to not like him at first because he had such like an extreme opinion that was so wrong. And so I would go in his chats to try to like get through to him and talk to him and be like, look, bro, you're wrong. Like, I know this, you know, and that's kind of, but then he kind of backed off of that case when the Summer Wells thing happened. So, then he seemed like for Summer, he was trying to do something good for a while, but, yeah, then it ended up just getting all bad.
They say they forgive you. Nobody holds judgment. I think you have balls. I think you have balls to come out and say that, you know, what you did. And I respect that. Doug thought he could
Well, the truth is the truth, you know?
Yeah, no. I really respect you. And and in my chat, listen, y'all, if my mods, if you guys can drop her link, and I don't want anybody saying any negative comments about her truth or what she's saying, because it is truth. I don't want any, you know, rude, slick comments. That's not going to happen. People, take care of it.
Oh, no,
please.
nobody's really been, like, I haven't gotten a bunch of backlash for it or anything by anyone except for his supporters, you know?
Of course,
who believe his lies, but...
Well, you know, I'm so glad that you said that. This is somebody that Doug met and actually hooked up with. They, you know, came together from the West case, and here you have a common sense person who is expressing how she feels, looking at the facts of the case. And what does Doug do? Immediately, it is the biological parents' fault. It is always, for some odd reason, with no thanks investigate, the parents' fault. People, it doesn't take a rocket scientist here. This is the definition of a tragedy, man. If we exclude true crime, he's never done any real research. He's never had a good solid opinion. Some really, like, it's never been that. It's the easiest route. It's the parents. I didn't watch Doug back then. I didn't know Doug back then. I could only imagine. I've seen people who want to smash that dude because of what he was saying. Ray Sean, and his behavior repeats. It's the
Ray Sean is a friend of mine in real life also. Yeah.
I like Ray Sean. Do you know that Doug challenged Ray Sean to a fight, stubbed his toe?
Mm-hmm.
Jim Terry came along, got him very worked up and aggravated. I believe he said I believe it was a toe. Is that what happened with Mr. X?
Yes, it was.
And then so his behavior, it always repeats. It is the parents' fault, always, 1,000 lives, this and that, all the ladies are lying. Doug is like, he tries to play king, and he tries to just like, he thinks, I don't know. I think Doug has done a lot of drugs and a lot of alcohol because his family rejected him. And I think he found an avenue with comedy. And I think he tried to go this avenue with comedy. It got him into comedy clubs, gave him a little bit better step of life. But just like Doug, he messes it up, and he tries to bring that routine to YouTube, and he thinks he's like slick. He can fast talk because he thinks he thinks he can sell you a lie by making you laugh behind it. And by all means, it works sometimes. But people have caught up to his game, but he does the same shit. He will pretend. The reason he wants a balance in jail is because he's been doing this shit since the amendment community. It's everyone's fault but Doug's. Doug is a piece of dirt, scumbag, failed comedian, he's mad at life because of his penis size. It's you know better than anybody, and we don't.
Yeah. And he also likes to do this thing where he presents quote unquote facts and he says that he has the proof and the text and everything to back it up, but he never quite gets to the point where he actually shows anything that backs up what he's saying.
100%.
So, like, for instance, he used to say that he knows for certain that Hunter went back to Candace's house the day that Summer went missing. And I was like, really? And I used to ask him about this. Like, I want to see the text messages that say that or whatever. But it would always be on his other phone or something, to where even in person, I could never see the evidence of these things that he would claim. And I used to argue with him about Summer, because I would tell him it very well could be Dawn and Candace, but she also could have very well been abducted. Like, we don't know. We simply don't have enough facts to make an honest determination. And so I have to remain objective and keep an open mind to all possibilities. And he didn't like that.
Because he had to be right.
Because he wants his narrative to be what's supported, and that's it.
It's so weird. His personality is like, it's like, I'm trying to think of a word for it. People say narcissist and this and that, but I think it's much deeper than that.
Antisocial.
Would schizophrenic kind of fit too? Sociopathic.
Kind of, yeah.
He's schizophrenic because he just like, I mean, he said it on Miss King put a video out. He says he burns people that he gets close to, this and that. It's very weird that the guy, but then he'll double down after the fact and try to gaslight. It's crazy. It is crazy. Doug is a weird character, man. Listen, I remember hearing something about a weird fetish that he had. Not that you hooked up with him or anything, but I don't even know if it was you. Did he ever ask you to do like a weird fetish?
Well, I don't know. There was just one time that we were having a conversation about Hermes, and then he pulled up pictures and stuff on his phone. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but
yeah, he's weird like that. I have a text where he's correcting me about Benny Keys, and he sends like these mushroom plants that are little dicks. Like when I say he's suspect, like he's always making fun of like gay people and stuff, but he's got a lot of gay tendencies. I'm not even joking, people. Watch this.
I think so too.
But I want to tell you this. I really don't like Benny Keys, and I hate to help him. But I was listening to A Balance. I've heard your story. People, I'm not lying to you. Look, you guys know this is White Boy. I'm talking to Benny Keys, and he sends me these weird like dick mushroom plants, pots. I don't know what this is. Potted dickweed penis plant individual on Etsy. This is weird though, Danielle. I want you to pay attention to this. Miss Kate, I know you're watching. This is when I was saying I want to help you, I honestly did. So when I first started talking to Doug, okay, this is Benny Keys. He's sending me like pictures of Benny because he's sending me these IC3 things he does on Benny. So he's always talking about in his conspiracy that we're all involved in, people were sharing his number. The way that I met Doug, first ever text. This is no thanks. I just had a quick question, Doug. The other number is my internet line. Oh, I forgot about that. I got a whole squad of fucking screenshots over there. Doug, we don't need to watch this. Doug, I gave you Don's number. This is on literally 12/7/2021. Everything you say, Doug, and claim that people are conspirators, you do. But just so you know, he contacted me about giving me Don. This was about Benny Keys. In the conversation, I played this before. He doesn't even like Nina Boy. And I don't know Nina Boy. But he gives me Nina Boy's number because he knew I was going at Benny Keys. So here you have like a real psychopath who knows that here's this guy he don't know that well, but he knows that he has an issue with this guy. He'll say the things I want him to say or whatever. I knew who Nina Boy was way before True Crime. I would never call him Nina Boy. But for somebody who claims everyone sharing his number, which you could never prove, I could prove that you sent me Don Wells and Nina Boys within the first hour of conversation. But this is what I want to show you.
Yeah.
I want to date this. At 12:53 California time on I gave my text-free number, so I don't know how this date works. He don't have the real digits. You know, he threatened to take my wrench because I gave my text-free number. You wanted my real number, which I would never give to you. You never have my real number. But you threatened to take my wrench, which he did. I don't watch a channel like that anyhow. But you were trying to bait me to do the same thing. You want power. You want to be the guy. Why did you want if you had a direct line to me, why do you need another number? You need it because you dox people. You try to find out all their information, whatever mistakes they made in life. It's the exact same thing you've done to her, Kate, and everyone else, Doug. But my point is,
And he thinks that the wrench is so powerful, so powerful. I'm gonna send you the link of the video I found last night, and he was even talking about wrenches back then in the First Amendment auditing community, like back in the day. He thinks it's such a tool of power, like anybody cares.
Do you know his handwriting? I mean, you dated him for a little time. I don't know. Do you know what his handwriting looks like?
It's kind of like big and curvy, like kind of like girl writing.
Okay, I'm gonna put something on the screen. This is for because this guy is kind of like I do think he would shoot a school up, but only you've seen his signature on court paperwork, correct? I don't know if this can do you any justice if you can see this. I'm gonna send this to Kate.
Yeah, that looks like his writing. Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to Kate right now, and I want you to see if you. So I want to read this. Okay, Kate. I'm reading what you say. I may do it tomorrow, but I didn't know Danielle was gonna hop up, so I actually like to be more planned out with you. Okay. I'm reading what you said now. Kate, if you could send that to Danny real fast. So Danielle, this is within an hour of me meeting this guy. I think he's trying to impress me. He's trying to like get me with him. He's throwing numbers at me. This is his own admission on the screen right here. He's telling me he filed IC3 forms on this guy. And he was trying to get me, I swear to God on Jesus Christ, he wanted me to send flowers to Benny Keys. I told you people, very suspect. First of all, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to send anything to a YouTuber's house. I'm just not going to do that. But this is proof that Doug, I don't know what's in the package, but he sent me the screenshot and said that he did it. Him and Benny were fighting. I do know that he hates Benny Keys almost as much as Jim Terry. But, Benny can out-talk him. Benny can out, I don't know what Benny does to get the mechanisms clicking in old Doug's brain when he hates him. He may have talked to you about him. I don't know. But I just want to know if you recognize that handwriting, because that would be something I could not make up.
That looks like his writing for sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah, let me see what the text says. I forget what he says. Who knows what he sent them, but
yeah, even Pinky and Chuck 420, they agree too. Yeah, because we've all seen little things that he's written and put on his channel and stuff too, and that definitely looks like it.
Anybody who supports Benny Keys and all this, two things. I'm not doxing him because, for one, he doesn't live here anymore, for one. And for two, I kind of, if you follow this channel, you know I don't like Benny Keys, but I would not mind him. At the end of the day, I don't have to like him. He should know. He should know that that the dude did this. You know, he did it. This is not the first time.
Oh yeah, Doug sent my information to Benny. Doug sent my information to Benny, and I'll tell you why. He wanted to call DCFS on me, which he ended up doing, but he wanted there to be another outlet of somebody who knew my address, which would be Benny, that I would have a tendency to maybe blame it on. But Benny came to me and said, why is this dude giving me your information? And I was like, oh, I know exactly why, because he had already mentioned DCFS the night before in phone calls several times. And I kept telling him, Doug, you're the only person with my address. None of these people know my address. So he was trying to get my address out there, just like he did right here with Benny's to you, so that if something were to happen to me, then it could be blamed on someone other than him. So maybe he was trying to plan something for Benny, and he was trying to get his address out there. That way he could go and be like, oh, well, White Boy has Benny's address. This person has Benny's address. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely get
and then he could have like plausible deniability. Yeah.
He thinks he's slick.
That's totally his MO.
It 100% is. It 100% is. Rayshawn is a good creator, man. I will say that Doug has smeared that dude as well. That dude is honest. He's that dude. Rayshawn is like the least person to chase clout. He's got a little channel. He doesn't even upload like that all the time. I respect Rayshawn for speaking out. He's made videos on Doug. He's called him out, but let Doug tell it. He's a gang member and all this other stuff.
No, he's not. I've hung out with Rayshawn several times in real life, and I can tell you he's not a gang member. He cares very much for his children. He actually raises his children, unlike Doug. He's the most calmest, like, demeanor type person you could imagine. He's very, very nice and sweet, and there's nothing wrong with Rayshawn at all. You know, like, he's nothing like the way that Doug tries to make him out to be at all.
No, I know. I spoke with Rayshawn once on the phone, way back when I was doing the Benny stuff. Rayshawn doesn't care for Benny or Doug that much. But yeah, man, Doug is a joke, man. He is a clown. I wish I would have gave you some of this stuff before you went to court, but it's all good. I don't think this guy is really gonna. He has no power, Danny. He has no power. Like, he's on kick.
That's why I keep addressing him, because I'm taking that away from him. He thinks he's going to have power over me. He doesn't scare me anymore. I'm already over the shock of him doxing me and all that shit, to where it doesn't even bother. Like, I see it and it doesn't even faze me emotionally. I'm just trying to keep him from thinking that he has that power. Every time he brings my name up and says something that's a lie, I'm going to address it, period. Because I actually have proof that can back up what I'm saying, and he does not.
100%. He's on kick now with 4 people watching his live streams. So if he brings your name up or whatever, and he tries to smear you, man, if you would just tag me in the description and give me a timestamp, and I will back you up, because we have the numbers now. His power is gone. He cannot make those. I think he threatened you, because I was listening to you today when Jim was telling you about, the bank or whatever. I like Jim. I understand his comedy, but I was listening to you and you said something. You're like, well, I'll just post my tits with I'll mark my nipples off. That type of stuff.
Which I did.
He hates that, because his last text to me is like, I had this crazy lady named Avery mess with me and my wife, and he's trying his hardest. Same kind of play he did with you and Benny, where he's trying to involve this crazy lady who I had to actually call the police on, and he's trying to incorporate this lady Avery, and he's like, I got all your information. I don't care. Like, I'm not you. I don't shove broomsticks named Pedro up people's ass. Like, we're night and day, bro. I don't give a shit. Like that's why I do good versus Benny Keys. He's the same way. Oh, your name. you're the same way. You're like, you're gonna show people my tits. I'll beat you to it. They hate that. But that was his real MO on YouTube. He wants to get your information, CPS, all this. It's a real creep and a real pussy move for a dude to do. But that's what his power was. He would do that to his moderators, his subscribers. That's just what his MO was. But the main thing about Doug that's so weird is this guy will run his mouth about everybody, smear people, gaslight people, talk shit. But the second that you have an opinion on him, he wants to form anti-bullying campaigns and there's conspiracies. He's the definition of he'll give it but can't take it, which is I've never met a real comedian like that. Any comedian you watch on YouTube, a professional, real one, they laugh when they get clowned on. They don't get all sensitive and ego-driven weirdos. The dude's he's gonna shoot his school up one day.
Well, even like a lot of people will tell me, how can I like Jim Terry and the way he talks to me and stuff? And I'm like, but I give it right back to Jim and he never gets mad. Like, we have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could both mess with each other. So that's why Jim is good with me. But, you know, a lot of people can't handle that, you know, because he is really abrasive. But I love Jim Terry. I don't give a fuck who thinks what about that. But yeah, it's totally different than somebody like Doug who will totally dish it out, but he can't take it at all. You're so right about that. So right about that.
Jim is good people. Tell him I said what's up. I always kept it real with Jim. It's funny that it's funny if Doug gets to talk about Danny, Jim, or White Boy, he can produce 0 receipts. 0. I'm just reading shit off my phone, putting shit. Like he can produce nothing but gaslight and smears. You realize, Danny, I know I had to you had to get aggravated. This guy trying to flip the narrative on his Kick channel, but at the end of the day, you're viewing it, right, and you're getting mad because he's lying, but and you're probably used to that, but because he had like 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, he's talking to 4 people. You have the power now. You have the power.
Well, I don't even think he had 40,000 real subscribers to begin with, because if you look at his analytics, when you could, now we can't, obviously, but they would tend to go up like 100 or so every 21st of the month. And, you know, all of us know what the 21st is. So that would be payday on YouTube.
So did you guys look that up on Playboard or Social Blade?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I took a peek at Crime and Justice because her numbers just they don't add up. She's got 11,000 subscribers and she's so lame. There's no way. Sometimes she'll do a live and have 100. That doesn't even add up. It doesn't add up. It's
not
weird.
At all.
They were buying stuff together. Let me ask you this, because this is a question I would love to know, and only you could answer. I've read messages on my phone, but this is between a dude and a dude. Even though he was getting kind of bromancy at one point, but as someone who has dated him, you guys had conversations and all this, whatever, and as you could see the person he's dating now. Forget about the person he's dating now. Do you think that Crime and Justice, do you think that no matter what type of poker face she says or when people ask her, she dodges it, do you think Crime and Justice knows about, Doug, we know you're going to watch this, Doug. Do you think that Crime and Justice knows and has viewed your channel or spoke to Doug about you, Kate, Christina?
Oh yeah, he sent me an email with a screenshot one time where somebody sent her an email and said, you know that Doug's dating Danielle and you seem like a nice lady, but if he's going to lie to you about that, what else do you think he would lie to you about? And he showed that to me and he got pissed off at me. And I was like, I don't know who emailed her that or why, but like, why are you mad at me?
So there's a rumor. I will not say who told me this. I want to know if you've heard about this. I got to be real sensitive and be very careful how I say this. There's a subscriber of Doug's. She's actually very local to where I live at. I've contemplating finding where she lives at and having a stern talk with her. This lady has been harassed by Doug. For a while, they were like, they were dating. She's called the police. Listen, I think this lady has been like suicidal at one point. And
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about, but
I'm not going to say her name, but
yeah.
this, I would like to emphasize I got to be careful because that's like
Did she also send him topless pictures, but he never exposed them?
Yes.
This
He sent them
lady,
to everybody else, though.
babe, will you want to take this one for me? Because this is a woman's topic. This is hard for me to work.
Well, because if it's the person I'm thinking of, when he threatened me that he was going to show my pictures, it was after he already showed Kate and the other woman. And he said, and then at the end, he was like, no, never mind. I'm not going to show you. And then he named another mod of his. And I didn't even know at the time that he had anything going with her. But then I kind of put two and two together and was like, oh, okay, you know. But then later he's made mention of her on his channel. So
I don't want you to say your name, but I want you. Well, listen, I think that this needs to get out because the people who watch this replay, I'll be right back. I want you to talk about it though. I don't know if you should say your name, but just I think if you keep talking about it,
I'm in my bathrobe.
Listen, I'm gonna let Noelle handle this one, guys, because when I heard this, I was disgusted and I was disappointed, and I found out that this person doesn't live too far from me. But what I want to say is this person has been abused by Doug to the fullest, is actually considered some very frightening circumstances, and this is a complete brainwash. This is, an hour and 45 minutes.
That's how far she was from.
Yeah. And this is complete manipulation and control from a chat to a creator. I don't even know how to I don't even know how to word this, but it needs to get out there. If you want to gaslight AB, myself, you're not going to bring this woman to court. You're not going to run to your kick chat and lie. No, we're going to really break it down. Your power is lost. You're going to stop trying Kate. You're going to stop with this gaslighting. You're going to stop, dude. We know you're going to watch this, though. And because you're going to watch this, I understand people watch Danny. They watch AB. They watch me. People are still looking for you. You talk about conspiracy and this big plan. What about the mental torture that you have been inflicting on somebody who has tried literally to hurt themselves behind it? Okay, let's talk about that. Noelle, here, take the seat. I'll be back in a second. Just do what you do. Just do what it needs to be out there.
I don't know what I do.
Just you word it. It needs to be said. Just have a wink.
I don't really. One moment, everybody.
Huh? The late, no, you don't do the name. Just tell them. Just tell them. Say it all but the name. That's what I would do. Let's see if the comments figure the name out. If that comes out, well then
Everybody in there knows who knows.
well, put it out there. There's thousands of people that need to understand this.
Nothing like being put on the spot. Okay.
It's a touchy subject. Forgive me. Forgive Chat, forgive it for a second. I don't want to hurt anybody, but it needs to be said.
I just didn't plan on doing this.
You look beautiful, just so you
No.
know.
You always do. But I'm in my bathrobe and I have a pen in my bra. Thanks. I don't know. I guess I should put it with my samurai swords. He tries in his own way to like be that stupid, that I like to be friends with you and get to know you, and you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, and it's always going to be safe with me, and I'm always going to be here for you. That kind of person where you feel comfortable and you feel safe and you feel as though you have like a real confidant, somebody that you can depend on. And then he literally uses all of your trauma or anything, even if it's like, it could be something that you consider a weakness. Like I don't know if you can see it, a red birthmark here. And it actually, when I shaved my head back in the day when I was like, in style, I'm really old. So like I shaved my head and I have red dots all over my fucking head. It was so stupid. But I hated it because people would come up to me and be like, oh my God, are you bleeding? Or is that a tattoo or something? So I always wanted to get rid of it. I was going to have it removed. So had I confided that in him, he would have turned around and then threw that in my face in the future.
Yeah.
So all he does is try to get you to tell him everything, and then you gain his trust, and he gains your complete trust and all this stuff, but he doesn't really trust you. He's letting you think it. It's like it's love bombing, really, but with zero intention of going any further than learning how he can control you and then break you after he can no longer control you anymore. And so that's what he did to this young lady whom used to be one of the people that was a part of my YouTube family back years ago. And then he would have people, ladies normally, he would have them take over the chats and run moderating. Like if I were to come in and be like, hey Doug, how are you? You're looking handsome tonight. Like one person would know to report that to somebody and to block them. And then the other person would be on guard to see like if, somebody was saying something they shouldn't, or you weren't allowed to joke around in his chat because he was the only one, it was his show. So he would get you guys like not you guys, but you in like as a general word, he would get you guys to do whatever he could get you to do. And then people would start waking up and he'd be like, oh yeah, well, what the fuck, you and that ugly ass red tattoo or birthmark on the side of your head, like, is that a gang tattoo or some shit like that? You know what I mean? Like he would try to use that as a weakness of mine, which it isn't. I just hated that people always pointed it out. Like, oh my God, are you bleeding? No, it's a fucking it's a fucking birthmark. Leave me alone, right? But this person fell in love with the idea of the fake person that he portrayed himself to be. So because he was so good at manipulating her and many others, not just her, but a whole slew of people, she really fell head over heels for him, and it was hard. It was really hard on her, and he used that even more against her because he would make her insane, like just losing her mind, not to be taken that out of context, because he ended up having her committed, or she committed herself a couple times because he was making her, crazy, he was just killing her. The person that she really was kind of died when she was with him. And I'm hoping that she's better and stronger and, herself again, but like a better, stronger, happier version of who she was, because his only goal in life is to consume the person you are and kill it, kill your spirit, kill your soul, and make you be not yourself, but who he has created. And whatever you end up being is the product of him. And that's like his little pride, like, look what I did to so-and-so. So then they think that, well, I'm going to send him boob pictures or butt pictures or whatever. And it just adds to his ego. And he practices everything he learns. So, like, Danny, I'm sure there's stuff you opened his eyes to and introduced him to, like, a whole new way of thinking or like a thought process about something. Say marbles, maybe a certain type of marble you loved. Now he knows about it, so he's going to use that in like his next relationship or whatever to impress them. Like, oh yeah, well, what do you think about this kind of marble? The way it looks and the texture. And well, he learned that from you. His stupid ass never would have fucking known about that if it wasn't the fact that you taught him that. So inevitably,
Oh wow, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
you literally taught him something unintentionally, but like you were sharing a passion of yours or just anything, because you're a smart woman. I'm listening to you speak, and
Very smart.
and I have caught a live or two of yours. But you just really have a way of talking and introducing things to people. Like, I have brought a lot of different things. I can't even tell you how much I've introduced to Matt, and he has to me. So I've kind of molded him into who he is, because clearly he wasn't the him that he is now 7 years ago when we got together, and neither am I. I'm different than I was. So you literally took a part and molded him to not be a scumbag, but to teach him how to be the better version that women like and love about him. So, like, you educated him and made him not stronger but smarter, because now he's got Danny ideas and Danny tricks and tips and the Danny files. And
Well, yeah, because he's a sociopath, so he mimics people. That's all he knows how to do. He doesn't know anything genuine of himself. He just knows how to mimic and mirror. That's it.
So the main part of love bombing is mirroring. If you ever learn like about a narcissist and what their traits are, mirroring people, it's like, I didn't believe that I would ever meet myself in somebody else. You always hear of doppelgangers, but in reality, this person is acting so much like you because they want to impress you. And then you think that, wow, this is like my soulmate or my whatever you want to think. And really, it's just them studying you and learning you and knowing what you're about so he can impress you. Because I never thought that you would be into this. Holy crap, I can't believe you knew about that type of marble. And you're just like, wow, he's really an intelligent guy when he's not around. No one ever knew about that marble before. Meanwhile, it's just because he studied. But that's what he does to everyone. So everything you taught him and everything anybody else has taught him in the past or will in the future, it just goes with him to continue to manipulate the next person. Thank God this other young lady I'm speaking of, unfortunately, she did get completely consumed by him, but thank God she never hurt herself and killed herself. And she's still with us today and has the potential to grow. And she can even be an advocate for women and for men, because women are not the only people that become victims. Men are as well. So
Good.
I just hope the next person
Yeah,
does
I put something in the private chat.
It's a shame.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's exactly the subject point.
I'm gonna give him back because anybody that knows me knows I could talk forever. But it was good talking to you, sweetie. As in you all.
Nice talking to you too.
You too.
All right, so Noelle put that nice and eloquent. Thank you, babes.
You're welcome. Sorry, I talk too much.
No, you don't talk too much. This is no, that's my fault. What I did is I handed you a lot.
You just said take over.
Yeah, and I
like,
realized
that's
that.
why I'm like,
So-
which part should I take over?
So for the people watching chat, I'm pretty blunt with you guys. I'm pretty honest with you guys, but this is a subject that's hard to talk about. Danny, I don't ask for your help with this, but you gotta recognize that this is very hard. So I'll try to tell you guys this as much as possible without inflicting any more damage on the person or hurting them further. There is a person in the chat. You're hearing. You guys have now heard Miss Kate, Christina, Danny, and that's just this chat. They have own channels. They've been on other panels, but just here, guys, you've heard it, and I've told you guys. There's a lot of people in the chat. I have a lot of ex no thanks investigate subscribers, and they have a lot of stories, and because they come over, it was like a real awakening. When I started talking about Doug, I got like overload of information, and I'm kind of still mad that you guys let him talk all that shit about me, and no one said nothing. One person did, which opened this can of worms up, but that's fine. Not about me. There's a person who's been getting super victimized over there, and to the point where this guy has he is playing her so bad that she has had problems in real life behind it, and a lot of issues. But he continues to do this manipulative persuasion. What does PIMP stand for? I forget it. Persuasion, impersonation, manipulative person. Persuading, impersonating, manipulative person. That's what he did to this person. And this person was to the point where they were going to inflict physical harm upon themselves. This guy knew this. He would still pinpoint, direct, and focus on this person, and it is crazy.
And this is someone who donated money to him a lot and was there for him. Like, I know all about this. And that's what he does, is the people that are there for him the most are the ones that he hurts the most.
Yeah.
That's what's sick about it. It's not like people who turned on him or, who became his enemies. No, he makes them his enemies when they were the ones who had his back 100%.
That's right. I'm trying to protect this person's identity. I'm not going to say anything more, but if you're watching this replay, she put the person's name in the back chat, and she's hitting the nail on the head. I'm going to leave this one alone because it's tough. When I heard this, it really put a fire up under my ass to really be like, okay, keep in mind, Miss Kate was telling me this a long time ago, and I brushed it off, and I really wish I would have covered it. But
only everyone would have listened to Kate a long time ago. It would have saved a lot of us from a lot of shit.
And I want to clear something up. There's never been a fake fight between anybody, and Miss Kate is not crazy. I did say that, and unfortunately, I may have been a part of that narrative, and I've already talked to her, and it's water under the bridge. But the problem is, as a lot of ex-Doug people come over, I have reconnected people and this and that. I won't say too much. Some people, I'll say this. People are so afraid of Doug because of when he does the thing with this, he thinks he has this power. It doesn't work on Danny. It doesn't work on me. But some people are literally terrified of this guy, where they change their entire screen name and everything. Okay? That is 100% happening. This guy, when I talk to these people, okay, it's easy for me to connect people behind the scenes and stuff, especially when it pertains to Doug. Because look, when you're I will say this, for people who were big time Doug supporters, regardless of what I said, whenever Miss Kate would be brought up, she's always meant meant to be crazy. She's not crazy by any means necessary. First of all, this is coming from somebody who this is a person who survived cancer, and this guy has the balls to say that she lied about that. This is not true. This is not true. And I was gonna play a live. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow probably, and really do a full-on justification for Miss Kate, because I had some things planned. I did not know Danny was gonna come up here. Hey, look, we can do 1 and 2. Not a problem. Just more content, and more truth will get out. But a lot of people feel like Miss Kate is crazy, and I may have played a part in that. And for that, I've apologized, but I don't want people to think that. Miss Kate is very persistent and pissed off, and that's a big difference than crazy. But I'm specifically talking to the people who have been in Doug's chat, and you're over here now. You guys know who you are. There's a lot of you. No, that's not the narrative. So my next live, I'm going to bring all and debunk everything that's been said about Miss Kate, because she is owed that. I could say I'm sorry, and I could show that I mean it, but she is owed someone going through all the lies and all that, and that would be a proper apology. Plus, it debunks a lot of shit that Doug says. I don't think anybody on the YouTube streets thinks anything he says is credible. I
Not
really
anymore,
don't.
definitely not. He's ruined it for himself.
He's ruined it for himself. I mean, it's not a conspiracy, and it's not fake fighting. It's people just going through the same behavior. I mean, Danielle dated the dude, and then at some point there's a weird spaz out, and and he's attacking her. We would never be discussing Doug if he wasn't on YouTube. This would be the guy that you see at the hospital he's trying to sue the people at the hospital. He's trying to come up on a fast lawsuit. He has YouTube. I've read his numbers. I had a lot more text. I forgot he had another phone number at once. I got even more screenshots to show you. But he exaggerates. He lies. He's big-headed. He's got big ego. Doug, in real life, is a loser. He comes from a family of law enforcement. And literally, it's the links in the chat. His family had to get him out of shoving a mop handle named Pedro up someone's ass, which in fact he'll deny and say that A Balance should go to jail, when really I've been the one really saying that. I mean, this is true crime. There's cases all the time. There's articles about the cases, and we show them. I'm just simply showing an article out of the LA Times about a bunch of wrestlers that with groupthink came together and shoved a broomstick up someone's asshole. But that never happened. And he's going to put the YouTube police on me. Right. Right.
Hey, white boy, I'm going to go ahead and jump down and let you finish up your live, okay?
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Mods, drop her link. I'm going to put her in the description. I appreciate you, Danny.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for being out for so long. I'm going to jump off too here in a little bit, y'all. She hung up for a long time. That was cool. That kind of messed my whole plans up, but she deserves her truth. Miss Kate, I'm going to do you some justice next live. I promise you that. Sub up to Danny's channel. Let me hit these comments. Kareem Owe. What is his name? Hide your kids, hide your brooms. 100%. Good name. I like that. You get name of the week. Live and live and learn, Danielle. I'm going to bed, y'all. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hit it up too here in a minute. I don't think that he has only one issue. Listen, I'm no doctor, nothing, man, but I think it's schizophrenia. And listen, I had my best friend that I grew up with. It's literally how I met Noel when I was 13, just a kid. I grew up with him. We used to hang out, sleep over each other's house, all that type of stuff. Hang out, all this type of stuff. Noel's friends with his sister. I'm friends with his brother, his father. It's weird, right? But let me tell you this. Like, I grew up with this guy, and he was always like normal and stuff, man. And about 17 years old, I guess, he started getting like really like paranoid. He's got schizophrenia. He doesn't work. Matter of fact, he's got such a bad case of schizophrenia that he has these manic episodes where one time, it's been a few times this has happened. It's just been him and his mom in the house, and he's like spazzed out and like attacked his mom, like full on like punching his mom, thinking like she's like, I don't even know what he said. I don't even know what he thought. But I've experienced as my best friend. And it sucks because I never like recognized it. I never recognized it. Like I at 17, I left the house and shit like that, this and that. So I would see him a lot less. But when I rekindled with Noelle, and we got back together out of many, many years. Here is Noelle, my first girlfriend ever. She dumps me. And then I find her through social media years later. And here she's been married a few times. And I've been with a couple psychos, and we get to talking. I moved from one part of Florida to where she's at, and bam, I'm back to where my best friend's at. And again, I know his whole family and stuff. When I seen him, I didn't even recognize the person that I grew up with. He is full on schizophrenia and doesn't talk to anybody, but he'll talk to White Boy. It's very weird. It's very weird. But Noelle had to break it to me. And she had to be like, hey, man, this has been going on a long time. I never realized it. But this is like, the patterns with this guy and Doug is the same. He's like very, it's Doug is way paranoid. And he tries too hard to gaslight somebody. Like, why do you say I sold Molly, Adderall, and Xanax? I've already said that I gave it away. Like, you can go back and find me saying that. So you don't get that doesn't give you the truth. You can't put words on it. You can't change it. You don't get to do that. Like, who are you? You have no power. You have no power. Like, you're over on Kick yelling at the 4 subscribers that you have, but it hasn't registered yet that the people that you've tried to smear, hurt, and destroy now have the power. Not that we want the power, but your thing was going back to the videos AB's played with the First Amendment. You wanna tell on the police. You want to agitate the police. And every single video I'll put it on YouTube Live. Like, that's your go-to. I want to tell your sergeant, that's your go-to. You literally went full Karen in the store about the lady not refunding your purchase the way that you want it refunded, and you threatened her with, you're going on YouTube Live. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. But you were so used to this working. Like, that is your power. It is funny how karma works. You're now on Kick talking to 4 people who's your family, also your cyberbullying team. For some strange reason, you're assembling your team when literally Google kicked you off for making fraudulent and too many Google AdSense accounts. They said you got to go. You're now forming the team to put on the people who are doing this massive conspiracy. Doug, everybody can't be lying. And you can't show like one screenshot, one voicemail, nothing. Remember, Doug, when you said on your, we're not going to watch this, Doug. We're not going to watch this. Remember when you said, I'm going to release all the emails on White Boy? Just like Danny said, you always say you have this, but you never come through. How come everyone is in this inter-conspiracy? Everyone's lying. Everyone is taking Doug down. But every one of those people have like their personal own story, the truth, and receipts. But Doug has zero. He has a mouthpiece that he was using, and he got too comfortable to yes men, kind of like what Crime and Justice does every single time you collab with her. Like there's never like a difference of opinion. She just like shrugs her head. You got too comfortable to that. It was your own echo chamber. And those people you could sell any lie to. You could make anybody whatever you wanted to. And that was your power. But the YouTube community has all agreed. No thanks, we don't want them back. So you could watch what happens over here and you could yell at the camera on Kick. But just recognize over here is where they come to find out about true crime. The people who are interested in true crime, they go to YouTube. It's linked to Google. Remember, Google canceled your account. So they type in like the true crime, the cases they want to see and stuff like that. And the main broad audience is it's got the logo of YouTube. And they tune in and they follow people, they support people. Sometimes they want to keep up with tragedy films like yourself. The audience on Kick, when I made the stream tonight, we're streaming on Kick tonight, people. On the tags, it doesn't even have true crime. You can't even put it in. It says hot tubs, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. So you're yelling at the camera, but the kids don't even know who the hell you're talking about. And if they're on Kick looking at hot tub streams and you're talking about Danielle and let's just say you screen shared her, they'd be fully interested in your stream, but they would not believing anything you're saying about Danielle. Danielle, if you watch this, you should just go start streaming on Kick and be like, yeah, I'm the guy I'm no thanks is talking about. He would have one viewer. I mean, you literally have the power. It's a bunch of hornballs over there. I mean, just do your thing. I'm not saying anything disrespectful. Just saying. Doug, you're a joke. Comments, man, and I'm jumping off. It's getting late. I gotta do another one for Kate. I cranked this one up late. I'm glad she jumped up to straighten out the court situation. I have a lot of I took notes all for Kate. I got a whole phone full of notes. Phones were dead. But it went on too long. It's fine. We'll do another one. No problem. What up, Debbie? No, I'm gonna hit these comments, man. Then hey, no problem. I got you, Kate. I got you. Debbie and I don't think that he has the one issue. I also think that he has just one issue. I think that he's borderline personality and manic depressive. And yeah, that's I can absolutely go for that, Chuck. Live and learn. Live and learn. Serious O. DD 100%. I know that for a fact. I've had people tell me they've donated to. I've had all types of dudes. I've had dudes. Doug, if unfortunately we can't review any of Doug's lives. Maybe if I roll back some of my videos or ABs, you can view them there. But Doug would only acknowledge women in the chat, and that's when the spell would start. And I know for a fact, I've had the receipts. I'm not going to produce the receipts because I'm not going to put anybody out there. But I know he would acknowledge women in the chat and women that donated. Somebody donates $2 to the live, man, I'm grateful. You just gave me $2 I didn't have to go work for. This guy would be so full of himself. He would say, "Hey, well, for example, I'm going to use damaged goods." He would say, "Oh, damaged goods, could you move the decimal a couple spots?" Like, who the frig does that? There's people just donated to you. Like, that's true testimony. I wish I could show you. I wish I had the person on. Unfortunately, people are scared. People are scared. These are just the women. Imagine all the asses he's hurt with the brooms. 100%. 100%. 100%. They always say initiation, man. It's kind of like the way that I look at the broom situation is like, I mean, if we look at this thing in full detail, Doug is always he's trying to use the impressions and stuff. When I read that article, it said they named it Pedro. That has Doug all over it. But, it's like, it's a bunch of college dudes, sorority boys. I look at it like a gang. To get into the gang, right, you got to get beat up by the gang. So, I don't know, man. The weird vibes that I got when he had his bromance, when I would do collabs with Jim, and then learning on his profile picture on Kik that he was taught by Rikishi. Well, we're awaiting back for the email, people. Trust me, I'll keep you updated. I have a feeling that it's going to be a big no on that. The whole broomstick thing, all the gay jokes, like it's always gay jokes. The dude talked about dick a lot. I'll keep it real. He talked about dick a lot. And then come to find out he has a microscopic, what is the diagnosis for, what is it called? We have a tiny beggar. There's a diagnosis, people. What's it called? Come to find out, he's not working with much. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's just so weird. Poor crime and justice. Bless her soul. But lesson to be learned, man. If you want to be on YouTube, this is a dime a dozen. Okay? And make no mistake, in my opinion, I believe he took one out of old Benny Key's playbook. Okay? I believe Benny Keys doxed him or whatever have you. I don't know that. I don't even know how far Doug goes back on the internet. Somehow, some way, Doug learned how to dox. He will act like he doesn't dox people. I mean, people, this was in the court. Danielle was in the courtroom a few days ago. She actually went. He did a Zoom call. I'm going to get you up to speed with Miss Kate tomorrow night or the night after. This in a few days. It gives me more time to actually plan with her. And we'll actually be able to clear her name. But all he did was learn out one off the old page of the. He learned how to dox from whoever he learned how to dox. And then he established, I don't want to say a cult, but he started these really weird manipulative games on people. And what's weird is I've been doing this YouTube channel for a few years. You cannot find a video on the internet where there's a moderator talking about shenanigans. I took a wrench tonight, but it was because the person fake killed themselves. But you have moderators saying that there's weird things happening with the wrench. There's all types of women claiming similar things, and these are not all the women. There's a lot more, and a lot more have channels. There's a few other channels besides these women, but they have the same story. But in Doug's view, and what he tries to spew to people is, it's all a conspiracy. What had happened was they're fake fighting. They're mad about my investigative skills. Now, we just heard from Danny in the West case, which was years ago, for some odd reason, Doug's investigative, guess what? Wait for it. It was the parents' fault. Now, last time I checked, Don and Candace, 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 and even like this guy would have Jody Sue on for all this time, and then bam, the paranoia, bam, the smears, bam, he full on her. You could see it recently with, like, take the women out of it, take me out of it, you could see what the collabs he would do. He would hate bond and collab with channels that had the same view as him against the Wells. But then we broke it down. The paranoia would kick in. He gets close, and then the paranoia. Then he's talking shit about all these people, and they have the same exact view as him in the case. But now he's smearing them. There's titty pictures. They didn't buy me a mic. He's lying. Conspiracy. Canadian jail. That white boy. The dude needs Prozac, and I really want to get to the bottom of Winston Gate. I've been hearing from a little birdie that he's exploiting the dog's death for a grift. Is Winston alive? Is Winston passed? Now Winston gets a full-on pass. Poor Winston. But is he exploiting the dog's death? I don't know. I can't confirm that. Only thing I can't confirm. Wouldn't put it past him. Winston Gate, we'll call it. It's disgusting. Hope somebody learned something. Ladies, stay away from this type of dude. But hey, fellas, there's women out there like this too. But definitely, ladies, prime example of say, hey, hell no. Hell to the no. You have more personal testimony about this dude. You know, I will tell everybody, if you want to catch up on what I wanted to say, and if you want to hear his crazy conspiracy, his conspiracy thing, and it would get it to get you ready for the next live we did, jump on over to A Balance's channel and watch the last Doug live. You'll hear the breakdown, the freak out, the parrot. You'll see it for yourself. And definitely check out Danny's channel. Mom, did we drop the link? Mods, I appreciate you holding down the chat. Hey, chat, white boy. Chuck, I'd like to have you on, Chuck, one day, but what he's capable of doing, just in case he is going to try to get me spotted. That's good, Chuck. We got your back. You have too many. He doesn't have the power, Chuck. He doesn't have the power. What you know, as I'm watching A Balance, live Doug on Kick, and I'm sure Danny kind of felt like this too. I don't know, but we're used to watching Doug. So I'm watching A Balance's live stream as he's reviewing Doug's shenanigans, and it looks like we're watching the Doug that we know on YouTube. But we have to remember, the Doug on YouTube is no more. So in all reality, what's going on is, if I haven't proved to you that he watches this channel and is in tune with all the drama, Danny even confirmed it. What he's doing is he's watching the streams and he's going to Kick live. And we have to remember that when we watch the paranoia and borderline schizophrenia person on narcotics, this is not the same. He's not talking to the same crowd on YouTube. This is a person. He had like 4 people in the chat. I posted the analytics the other day. He had like 30 views on a stream that's been on for like 2 weeks. And by all means, any small channels in here, 30 views is great. But to Doug, that's like that's the end of the road, and you can't be more happy. So we have to remember, when we're watching the Doug nowadays, his power's gone. He's not talking to the thousands of people that we used to know him to do, and he's used to that. He's only talking to the 4 people, and they're on Kick. They don't even know who White Boy is. They don't even know who Danny is. They don't even know who Jim Carrey is. They don't have A Balance. What? Who? Canadian Jail? What? They have not a clue what's going on. We have to remember, people. Till the next time, man. Miss Kate, I owe you one next time. Sorry so late. It is late. I got to get off here. 3 hours on Doug. Jesus Christ. Every time with this guy. All right, man. I'm out of here, man. I got to work in the morning. Till the next one. I love y'all. Much respect. I got to jump off. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. What is this? End it first. Bam.